Mother, man.
Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Tony Capagna at Spellbound Effects and Art, listening to Murder Metal Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem! Hell yeah. What's going on, Chris?
What is going on, Pete? How's it going on this Tuesday evening?
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, it's kind of Monday-ish. It's a 3-day weekend.
Very weird Tuesday. Yeah, it does feel like Monday with a 3-day Memorial Day weekend. So, hope, looked like you had the grill out. That was a good thing.
Both of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, you were going dual grilling.
Hell yeah, it was
That's
a good
awesome.
time.
That's awesome. And, of course, we had to record... that past Saturday we did the 100th and just crazy. We're doing all these episodes grouped together, and now we're going backwards to 98 kind of, since we already recorded the 100th. So it's definitely confusing.
It is a time traveling
sometimes.
Situation.
It is, yeah. It is like time traveling. So we had a good time though with the guys from the Black Crypt podcast. I thought they were a lot of fun. Joey, did you have a good time?
It was awesome. Because I never got to meet those guys yet. Because I had to work for the HorrorCon thing.
Right.
So getting to meet them was really cool. They were nice guys, and it was nice that all three of them were able to make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Considering the current situation.
Yeah, for sure. And it's good to have you here tonight with us. I don't even know. I'm losing track. 8 or 9.
It's 8, but
8 in a row.
We get a free one because one of them hasn't been aired yet.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Buy 7, get the 8th free, or
Right,
something like that.
Get an 8th for free.
Get an 8th for free. What?
And the other person here with us, my wife Jenny, who was volunteered to be on the show tonight.
Hell yeah,
I didn't even have to
Yeah.
ask her.
Well, life's been a little boring during the pandemic, so
Right.
Fuck yeah, dude.
shake
Why not?
things up a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. And we're going to be talking about a cool topic that she knows a lot about as well as I do, because we were there. So that should be fun here tonight. We'll get into that here in a minute. Now, we did 2 podcasts last week. We took last week off because the week before, we did the Brutal Rewind last week. We had recorded Son of Sam and the 100th in the same week, so it's just been nuts.
Kind of exhausting and needed a break.
Yeah, a lot going on. As a matter of fact, it's funny, here in a couple weeks, they're going to get that bonus episode we did on what we do to put the podcast together. And I think that'll help explain maybe to people listening, like, what actually is going on.
Right. Doing something all week long,
And
no matter what.
it's an all-week thing. I mean, it honestly is. So we enjoy it, but it is a lot of work. So taking a little breather here and there isn't such a bad thing. And we're still throwing the episodes at you, man. We're still doing Brutal
Still getting
Rewind
something every week, no matter what.
Yeah, so we're doing everything we can to keep it going every week. But if you missed the Brutal Rewind, Henry Lee Lucas, it was a good one.
Confession killer documentary.
Yeah, kind of crazy with all his confessions. And Joey, I know, you were there and talking about that, but just...
Yeah.
I mean, just stuff like, it doesn't seem like it could be real that many police officials were okay with just knowing that it was bullshit.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucked up.
Pretty tough.
I mean, that's part of his whole thing, though. It's like he could tell you whatever he wants to tell you, and you're never going to really know the truth. And,
right.
There's some aspects of truth one way and some lies the other.
Yeah.
As long as he got his damn milkshakes.
Yep. Yeah. And his Pall Malls.
His Pall Malls.
And Jenny, we watched the docuseries, The Confessions Killer.
Yeah,
that was, just outrageous. Texas Rangers too. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty.
You're talking about a prestigious law enforcement agency like them. That's pretty messed up, man. Because that sheriff was rotten. That was bad. All right, so anyway, check that out. We did a 30-minute little nugget on that. Brutal Rewind number 3, brought to you by Shaker's Cigar Bar. Shaker's doing those Dahmer tours again, man.
Yeah, see, they opened that up for the walking tours. So that's
go
fucking good.
up to
Fuck yeah,
Milwaukee, man. Hangmantours.com. You can do your social whatever up there. And
you can go eat out on the patios.
Yeah, you can buy cigars and shit.
Yeah,
I saw they
booze,
were like advertising for Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a good time. We're going to go up there here soon. We're just trying to figure when, because
Little iffy
even if
these
you go
days.
outside, you know, I mean, even if you go outside, you know,
Yeah.
it'd be nice, you know. So, so tonight we have an interesting subject that a lot of people probably don't know much about. I know I didn't know a damn thing about this town.
I'd never even heard of it.
I didn't know until you started talking about when you were going to Arizona. So
Yeah, well, my parents live in Cottonwood, which is right next to this town, and my dad hates this place. And because of that, I was interested in
Like, why does my
what's
dad
up with
hate
that
it
place
so
up
much?
there.
I didn't
'cause
realize your dad hated it that much.
yeah, he just doesn't like going there. He just thinks everybody's like a hippie and a freak, and he just doesn't want anything to do with it.
Oh, I do remember him talking about the hippies.
So, because it's very eclectic and
Right,
weird, you
right.
know. So yeah, it's kind of funny, you know, that he was so dead set against it. And then when you look at this place, it sits up on a hill with a big J in the hill for Jerome. Like, that's like,
No shit.
it's kind of cool, but it's like weird at the same time. And you take this winding, you know, road to get up to this place. I mean, you got to want to go there.
it
I mean,
takes forever.
yeah,
It
and
seemed like
your
the longest drive
hairpin
ever.
fucking turns. I mean, it's
shit.
gnarly, and they do get a little bit, not much, but a little bit of snow up there. So I wouldn't even want to imagine going up there in bad weather. I mean, it's treacherous.
No shit.
Treacherous, and in the middle of the day, on a nice day, it's treacherous. So anyway, yeah, it's dubbed the wickedest town in the West by the New York Sun newspaper back in the day, the turn of the century. And it's a lot of craziness, mining accidents, you know, copper, silver, gold. I mean, they mined all sorts of stuff there. Plenty of wild paranormal stuff. You know, we were talking about it before the show.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stories. I mean, books of stories. I've got some we're going to talk about, you know, really, really good stuff. And some of the, you know, the sites. Jenny and I stayed at the Jerome Grand Hotel, which was amazing. You look at a picture of it online and it looks like the fucking hotel in The Shining. I mean, it's
Yeah,
creepy
yeah.
as fuck. And it's old, and it's set up on this mountain. At the top of the mountain with the J on it is this fucking hotel. You're pretty close to the top, you know.
Looking at it like, oh, what
And
am
you're
I
looking
going to?
down. You can get your room on whichever side of the view you want. If you want the mountain side, you go on the back end.
Right.
And you see what's left of the mountain, which is very steep, you know. So you don't see much. It's very woody. And then the other way, you see the whole valley. It's really cool. So we picked the valley view when we stayed. So that was really nice. But a very nostalgic, you know, like going to Shakers, you know, going to a place like that, you know, the rich history. And we'll get into all that. But a bit of the ghoulish stuff to satisfy anybody that digs that type of thing. So it's cool.
If I go there, I'm definitely going to bring a big J to smoke on the hill. With
Oh,
the
there
big
you go. There you go.
Like, there's a big J in the mountains. Yes, there is.
Three of them. Joey.
Yeah, for sure. Now we got CK ready to go on Wildman Street in Danbury. He's all fired up, ready to hit it on the metal segment to talk about.
DRI.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. They were in heavy core back in the day, and I dealt with the guys. Yeah, and they were very, very cool and very agreeable, and they were. I think I did a email interview with one of them. I think it was Spike. I think is that his name?
Spike Cassidy. Yeah.
That's who I was dealing with. So I'm not that familiar with that. I know who they are, obviously, and I know what they sound like. But I admit I'm not a big hardcore guy. But I am very interested to hear about bands when I don't know much about them. Because you know how we've talked to CK before.
Oh, yeah.
And how many listeners have commented and said, I started listening to this band because you were
CK
talking
is
about.
talking about. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
check
so
this
I
shit
think
out.
it's
Fuck
cool
yeah.
to hear about stuff maybe not as much in my wheelhouse. Got a new Killer Cage match tonight, thanks to Justin Morris, Stephanie Anderson, and Jordan Kumpian for the random numbers. We got a good one tonight, Chris. Who do we have going at it tonight in the cage,
We
man?
got one of my favorites, the big old hoss, Joe Matheny. Fucking out there eating people.
Right. The guy that inspired this show.
Right, exactly. The guy that inspired
He's like our
Haley.
guy. You know?
Right. And then fucking the old man, Fred West, minus his wife.
Yeah,
So
just Fred.
him. Just Fred West fighting in the cage match tonight.
Yeah, should be interesting. So brutal as always. Got a couple of good objects. So thanks again to the listeners. And we'll do that, of course, in Mayhem. And CK says he's got an old high school story for us. Said it's pretty gross. And, he brought up high school. Me and CK are a couple of years apart, but went to the same high school. And so he brought that up, and it's just funny. This story hit me as an old high school story, and I thought, you know what? I don't think I've ever told this story before, so I'm going to share that. It's a good one. It really is.
No,
It's
not.
good, but
It's terrible.
It's downright awful.
Jen's like, no, I've heard it
It's
already.
awful.
It's fucking
It's
horrible.
It is really bad. So it is funny. Me and CK both going back to our Bethel High School days, so kind of funny. Same school, as a matter of fact, that Meg Ryan went to. So,
Oh, isn't that cute?
little history there. Huge thanks to our sponsor, spellboundeffectsandart.com. Dude, what about Spike here at the table, Chris? I mean, Jesus.
He's still freaking me out.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, man. I mean, that's over the top. We got a lot of people liking that on Facebook.
It's pretty nasty, dude.
Yeah, so Tony Campagna just outdoes
love
it. Ed Gein inspired art. We got the lamp. We got, of course, our severed forearm with our name carved into it. So very, very cool stuff. Thumb
Tony does
drives.
amazing fucking work. Go check his shit out.
Realistic stuff. So go do it. Spellboundeffectsandart.com. Always link to it here in the
Buy
episode
some shit.
description.
Support indie artists.
That's right. Thanks to all you guys out there listening. We really appreciate it. We got 4,730 listens, total listens last week. How about that, guys? It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, and that's a new record. We were at 4,500 was the record, so this broke it by 230 listens. And thank you to everybody that's checking it out. That's really great, because a lot of podcasts right now are seeing a sharp decline because people aren't at work, so that's
So they're
when
not
people
listening to them as much, right? That makes sense. I mean,
so
I get it.
I've been surprised, though. Our numbers have been holding steady, but this is like a jump. This is almost double the week before.
That's
That's
because all
because
your
our listeners are
don't
essential,
work.
man.
I guess.
Cashman's on a whole other plane, bro.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
this is normal. I just listen.
Yeah, this is just my normal activity. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not judging anybody. I'm glad you're
Or
listening.
they're
whatever.
essential.
Or you're essential as hell and fucking out there working. So we'll go with that.
It's a cross
Whatever
between the two,
essential
man.
is to you,
Yeah,
right?
whatever it is.
I'm on welfare right now, getting that unemployment,
Right.
But I'm hoping that my stores started to open up in other places. Just we live in Illinois, and we're like, obviously,
Right.
we're going to be one of the last. But anyway, we were talking about it earlier, and I was fucking certifying for my unemployment. I was like, man, I may not be essential, but I'm fucking certified. For it. Like, which one's better?
Right. That's funny. So we got a lot of stuff on our plate tonight. Got a crazy mining town in Arizona with a lot of death in its past and some ghosts. Don't seem to want to go home, Chris. So
Well, who the hell would want to go home if you got a big J in the mountains?
that's right.
I don't know, but it sounds like we need to get our murder on shit.
What you made me next? The next one to betray is just to face this test. When you find yourself scoring the trust, find it simple to lie. Only means eat right to your lust. Give me touch or ring and try. You soon wish you could die. It can be arranged.
Fuck yeah, man. Some flotsam and jetsam.
Jetsam.
Canada.
Some desecrator from fucking Arizona, man.
Oh, yeah,
An
Arizona,
Arizona
Canada.
band.
Canada. I'm like, wait, what?
So I was like, wow, is there an Arizona, Canada? I didn't know that. That's funny. So, no, Arizona band, I thought, hey, why not? We're doing Arizona as the topic. Specifically, though, Jerome, Arizona. Definitely a pretty ominous place with kind of an unsuspecting name. You know, you wouldn't really think anything of that. You know, Jerome. Whatever.
Jerome's kind of an odd name for a town.
You know,
I guess.
I was thinking Canada.
Why?
Because of Voivod. Is from Canada, and Jason Newsted played with both of them.
Oh, yeah,
And so I
okay.
had my shit mixed up.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
sitting there, I was like, where the fuck
That's
did I get
legit.
that from?
That's a legit tie.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too is I've got a cassette single promotional that they used to send out to radio stations, but it's a Flotsam and Jetsam and Voivod like single on each side. or
No
whatever.
shit.
So
Oh,
that's
cool.
ironic too, you know. like,
That's pretty fucked
weird.
up, dude.
Yeah, that is. We got Joey Goremonger here, of course, and
Yep.
Jenny's still surviving over
Still hanging
there.
around.
She's
Hell
over
yeah.
here. So picked the Arizona band to do this feature. In 1903, the New York Sun dubbed Jerome the wickedest town in the West.
Must be pretty fucking evil, man.
And Chris, I remember when you first heard that, you're like, "Oh, that sounds kind of cool," you know?
Right,
And
yeah, I like
oh,
that.
dude, this is a really, really interesting place. It is still a town. There's right around 400 people there, depending on who you talk to. I know the locals are saying 350, 360 ish, but then the census from like 10 years ago said there was about 440 or so. So it varies.
Crazy how such a small population is such a big tourist
I
attraction.
know, that's just it. You're talking about a few hundred people here, and this is very touristy type joint. Back in the day, it was a wild place where the copper miners needed somewhere to go spend their hard-earned money, and most of them did so in the bars and the brothels that were part of Jerome's sordid history. So
Working man needs to relax.
pretty crazy stuff. My parents live in a nearby town, as I mentioned, and Jenny and I were there visiting in February, and I had never stayed in Jerome. It's only a few miles from where my parents live, but I thought it would be cool because it was supposedly this haunted place, and like I said in the intro, the place looks kind of like that hotel in The Shining. It's big and old and creepy-ish, and it sits up in a on a mountain. It's just very ominous, but awesome at the same time. And so we had to stay the night there, so started checking it out online, and got in touch with the owner, and he really hooked us up with a nice deal with a room, and a nice tour the next day.
Right,
very
right.
very cool. So we had lunch at the Haunted Hamburger and dinner at the Asylum, and that's the restaurant that's attached to the hotel. So we really spent time in these places, and we'll get into a little bit more in depth with it. But it was a cool, we stayed what was it, Jenny, like a late afternoon into the evening, stayed the night, and then got up the next morning
And did the tour.
and did the
and
tour, and then
Then
shopped and looked
Yeah.
at some of the local fare. So we were there pretty close to
decent amount of time
24
there.
hours, pretty close to 24 hours, not quite.
24 hours wasn't enough to go see that.
I would have loved to have stayed another night. They were
Yeah,
great.
it was cool. But in February, it's nice to go out there to Arizona, but this place would be a hot SOB in the middle of freaking
Oh,
July.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine, dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
it'd be
middle of
brutal.
Fucking Arizona, like right
Yeah.
now, dude. Hell no.
Yeah, it's pretty friggin' hot. But it's not Phoenix hot though. It's hot, but it's not like that. So we got some good stuff to share. And Chris, this definitely sounds like a good spot. I could see you retiring and opening up a little, some little smoke shop or something.
Bars and whorehouses, bro. Let's go.
So I mean, it definitely
Brothels aren't there anymore, Chris.
seems like it would definitely be your kind of place. So. Jenny, this was definitely a crazy trip. We picked the perfect time to go.
Yeah, we really did.
Right before the pandemic started. So we were hearing little bits of it. We saw people
Yeah.
on the planes with the masks on, but that was at that time almost like weird. Like, why are they, like, wow, they really. And now, of course, we all wear them. It's just, it's very odd.
Yeah.
It's very
Strange times.
futuristic. So. Jerome is right in the middle of Arizona if you're looking at a map. It's about 100 miles north of Phoenix and about 45 miles from Flagstaff to the north. So, like I said, dead center almost of the state. A very eclectic place, very touristy, as I've mentioned. The town of Sedona, which is very near, and that's a very, very up scale, real nice. Jenny, you had been there
Touristy
before with
shops,
your
yeah.
family, but
It's really neat.
beautiful.
Super
I mean,
high class.
Yeah, real
pretty
nice
is.
scenic
Yeah,
with
pretty
the
much
red
is. Mm-hmm.
rocks. My dad had said they're the most photographed rocks in the world.
I
like
believe
more
it. Mm-hmm.
photographers go there to do what their thing because of how picturesque it is. So I mean, you got a lot of that kind of money going there, but you got people that are maybe, well, the ghost stuff is very popular. So
Right.
you got people. I mean, when we were there, we saw people with families. I mean, you're not talking about. I mean, at night, I'm sure it gets a little different.
Oh,
but,
yeah, I'm sure.
But during the day, it's pretty family friendly
Yeah.
stuff. Nothing too
I
crazy.
think it's crazy. All the mining was so huge there, and all the crazy, all the deaths and everything. But it's also like basically, like you said, in the middle of the fucking state.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come here to die, basically.
So my parents said that the Airbnbs are killing Sedona because a lot of people are doing those now, and they're buying properties and then just renting them out like
Right.
that. So there's nobody like living there. There's just transients. So like my dad was saying, like the kids' sports teams, you can't. There's nobody to play because there's nobody that lives there. They're all
Right.
like hotels. Like
Every house is a
basically.
hotel.
Yeah, I mean, there's so
Basically,
few
its own
people
hotel
that
room.
live there, like legitimately, that aren't already retired. Like most of the people that do live there are retired.
Right.
If you're there with kids, you're there to like visit for the weekend and you're gone, So very, very strange makeup, but because of it, there's a ton of traffic, and a lot of the people that are from the area are really upset over it. So it's been quite the mess, but it is very, very beautiful. Definitely worth taking a look at if you're into that scenic stuff and hiking, anything like that. It would be huge. So just to get to Jerome is a wild trip. I mentioned the winding friggin' road to get up to it.
Like
It's
up
like
the mountain and shit.
like one of those, was it the Flintstones where they're going up to the castle, like the winding?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that, dude.
Scooby
It's
Doo
like
getting
that.
up to the castle
Yeah.
and shit.
It's
yeah.
like that. It's fucking crazy like that. And so it's a beautiful view, but they call it the Cleopatra Hill, which overlooks the Verde Valley, which is in Yavapai County, Arizona. A very gorgeous view on a nice day. We were very lucky, Jenny. We had the great weather.
Yeah, beautiful weather.
Yeah, I mean, February here, can be pretty gnarly, but we were in, 50s, 60 degrees.
Yeah,
Was it
something
like that? I thought
It was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. The one odd day we had was the day we were in Phoenix. It rained.
Rain
Like all day.
All day.
And in Phoenix, it rains for like 5 minutes and then it's over.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
it was
all day.
literally an all dayer. My sister was like, seriously?
This is happening right now? What the fuck?
So yeah, it's pretty wild. But it's beautiful, Arizona as a whole. We went up to the Grand Canyon and stuff and did the railroad tour up there. It's just really
Oh, it
a
was
cool trip.
amazing.
Amazing time. But Jerome is about 5,000 feet above sea level. And back in the 1920s, when the copper mines were in their heyday, there were more than 10,000. I think there was like 15,000 people living in Jerome. So it was pretty happening.
That's too many people to be that high above sea
They
level. You're
said,
sucking up all the air.
Yeah.
I saw that in it wasn't a fucking terribly long time ago, like 1930s, 1940s or whatever, that its population had got up to 15,000. And that it was the fourth largest city in Arizona at that time.
Oh,
and I
wow.
was
I
like,
thought that was funny
I was
too.
like, that's pretty. I bet there ain't really nothing else.
No, there really
Not
isn't.
really.
There really
A couple
isn't.
big
Till
cities.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a lot of small towns, but yeah. So now there's like we were saying, around 400 people. So give or take a few. So now Jenny,
Now, is that? I saw a picture when I was looking at shit. Was that like real? Is it there? Like has the population when it started, and then it goes down to Ghost Town.
Ghost
or
Town.
whatever?
I didn't see that sign. It's the picture we posted it on. I posted it on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
I kept seeing it though. I didn't see that sign. Now there's so many different
Yeah,
ways.
it doesn't mean it wasn't there. Just
Yeah,
you didn't happen to see it.
I
I thought
didn't
that
see
sign
it.
was pretty cool though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
huge population, small ghost town.
Right. Now, Jenny, could you even imagine driving up to that or down in bad weather?
No,
mean-
absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I mean it was treacherous, and then to get to the hotel, I think my mom said like it was a sharp turn, but like that doesn't That doesn't explain like literally a 360 in the middle of the fucking street to get to this
180.
shit. It was just, yeah, I know. It's
Still,
just
whatever.
a 740. I don't
It
fucking
was
know
very,
to
very
get to
strange.
740.
to get to this damn thing, because it was like, yeah, you have to literally like almost jerk the wheel off the road to get to this place if
Little
you know where
road
it's coming.
that two cars cannot be on
Yeah.
At the
going in
same
opposite
time.
directions at the same time.
Yeah.
Pretty treacherous.
Yeah.
It's old stuff that wasn't built for cars, or definitely not SUVs.
Right.
I mean,
Yep. Or
and we were in
big
an
delivery
SUV.
big delivery trucks.
Yeah,
and stuff.
delivery
Yeah.
trucks. Yeah, so we had an SUV that we rented, and it was a little treacherous, but anyway, it was really awesome. The town owes its fame to two large ore mines that were formed nearly 2 billion years ago. And it was in the late 1800s when the United Verde mine and its founder and owner, William A. Clark, his name's all over everything out there, started extracting copper, silver, gold, and other metals. Apparently, he was very wealthy in another part of Arizona. I think it was Arizona or somewhere. Maybe it was in another state. But whatever it was, he was wealthy coming in there. And
Right,
this
so
just
he-
like
he had the
fucking
money to
blew
fucking-
up. I
Well,
mean,
is that who Clarksville is named after?
I believe so, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
It's the last train to Clarksville, man.
that's right.
Different Clarksville. but-
So in its 77-year life, the United Verde mine produced 33 million tons of copper, gold, silver, lead, and zinc ore, and employed over 800 men, because it was another mining company there running the other site. So there were two mines going on here. The other company, United Verde Extension, so kind of the same name, but a little different,
Yeah, it's,
run by
that like
James
a-
Douglas.
yeah,
So it
is
was
that
a
like
different company.
sub-company? Oh, is it different?
I don't
Okay.
know, but then again, it could have been on paper and they were really just the same. I just don't know, operated the second deposit, and together the two deposits were among the richest ever found. With all that wealth in the town, obviously everything pops up. You got the support.
Oh, it's a straight up boom
restaurants.
town.
Yeah, all
Straight
of a
up
sudden,
boom town,
like
yeah.
right now. And so it was just exploded, and you had a lot of the restaurants, the bars, prostitution, gambling, every vice you could possibly imagine.
Dude, I
And
saw
it
that
was just
the
crazy.
amount of copper coming out of there was just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Like anything I saw, like millions of tons of copper every year or whatever. Just copper by itself.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
yeah, not even counting the other stuff. The copper was just
Out of control.
crazy. Yeah. Now, Joey, it sounds like this would be a cool place for a grindcore
Yeah.
show. I'm thinking down in
they
Jerome,
they fragged the mountains for all the metal, so you got to bring some metal back to that.
There you go.
Fuck yeah, bro.
There you go. That would be so cool for a metal band to go.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are places they play.
But I mean, even like honestly, it would be cool as fuck. Just like the backdrop that you were describing with the mountains and all that shit, just to
Oh,
play
yeah.
like outside on a stage. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that would be cool.
or even
fucking-
shoot a music video or something would be really cool there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So another thing I didn't mention, I don't know if it's in the notes or not offhand, but Maynard from Tool,
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
lives there in Jerome, and he has a little winery and vineyards and a business in downtown Jerome that they serve wine and different foods.
And weird
and-
haircuts.
Yeah, and all sorts of merchandise and things like that. So it's cool. I mean, he's supposed to be real business friendly and very supportive of the local people, so that's all good. The mines flourished with World Wars I and II, and I saw as the price of copper went up and down, so did the mines, because obviously if the price is down, they're not wanting as much. So,
Right.
the guys are getting let go and then hired
Again,
back.
we don't need anybody in mind. We got plenty. We got back
Yeah.
stock on copper, bro.
The worst was in the 50s, though, when the town barely had 100 people there. And it, was the tourist attraction part of Jerome that really brought it back from obscurity. Because really, up until the 60s, there was almost nobody there. 9,000 people had died at the hospital. So you got this whole haunted thing now. And then all these bars and the brothels and all of that, all the different deaths and violence and people hurt and so forth, all the stories that spawned from that sort of thing just really took hold. And in 1967, the town was named a National Historic Landmark, and that's when you started to see the art galleries.
Right. Now all of a sudden people
Coffee
are-
houses. Yeah, it's more legit, you
Right.
know, and people that are there are legitimate business people. We met a really nice lady that was working the bar across the street from the Haunted Hamburger.
Wicked Apple, I think is what
was
it was
that what it
called.
was
Wicked
called?
I
Apple.
think so.
Right.
It was
Yeah.
something with Wicked in the name, I remember. But she was so nice. But she was, her and the owner were partner. I don't know if they were married or boyfriend, girlfriend. But
Something, yeah.
they were, you know. So anyway, she was there and she was really nice. So these people are really super cool, the ones that we met there. So definitely, you know, very, very, you know, interesting people. But they're, you know, they're legitimate business people is what I'm trying to say. And there's tour buses. So this is, you know, family friendly type place. There were tons of them there. They have these bus tours or shuttles you could take around the town. It's not a big town, but the hilly thing is really fucked up. And you can't park in some places. You have to walk a lot. And with my foot, you know, we were lucky that the Haunted Hamburger was right near the hotel. It was still a walk. We had to walk up this friggin' mountain to get back to the
Well, the
hotel.
Haunted Hamburger is just right across the street from the
Yeah.
hotel. Yeah, right across the street and like down.
Like a
whole-
10-story
yeah,
drop.
something like that.
Down
Yeah.
gradually down the hill. And with
So
this,
you're
I was
walking like a
oh
half
my
a
God.
mile to get to a restaurant that's across the street.
And then going up it was like, holy shit. You know?
Well, with the
Yeah. Wow.
elevation and,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
were all
I'm not
fucked
in
up.
any kind of shape, so
Where the fuck's
We're
the
lucky we made it.
monorail?
Right.
ski lift.
So yeah, you could do it
Right.
the smart
Like, what the
way and
fuck?
actually take like the shuttle would probably be better. And we stayed at that Jerome Grand, as I mentioned. Really cool to see that valley from up there. The owner, which was a weird coincidence, Chris, my last name and his.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. how
Almost
close they
exactly
are.
the same. His name was Larry Altier, with an H in it, but it doesn't. They don't pronounce the H when they say the name, and no I at the end. So take the H away and add an I, and our names are the same. Very, very unique, weird coincidence. He was very, very nice. Took us on a 90-minute tour of the hotel. It was actually my birthday, just as it worked out. As I said, you know, it used to be a hospital, and they claimed that over 9,000 people had died there when it was open for business.
Which is crazy, man.
That's
like,
a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were collecting insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
those-
sure.
Also-
But
also-
Larry contradicted that and thought
Yeah.
that those numbers were pumped up.
Inflated. Yeah, he
So-
thought it
seems
was
like a big
considerably
number.
less.
Yeah, but also wasn't that also like the third hospital that they had built there?
Yeah, there were other ones
think
that
that-
one burned down, I think, where there was
Right.
a big fire that took a lot of
I
buildings
think they
out.
had like a couple that destroyed the town or almost all of it a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
times.
Yeah,
like
before they finally got everything there that could like, you know, fire safety.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's
firefighters.
far enough away. Another fire department. You're
You're
not getting there in time.
you ain't getting shit.
You're not going to get there in time.
And you can't just get the water out of the lake right there.
Right. So a lot of, you know, interesting stuff there. And it does kind of remind me of The Shining, the hotel. It is really cool if you Google that, Jerome Grand Hotel. Very amazing. Chris, was there something you were going to add to that?
No, huh?
Oh, okay. I thought you had said something
Nope.
before. Okay. Now, Jenny, that was really cool to do the tour of the hotel. What
was.
did you think? I mean, just the whole, very Shining-ish, the way the hallways with kind of that
yeah.
patterned carpet, and you just kind of, you're thinking of the come play with us, you know. You can't help but think that, you know,
Yeah.
but neither of us had an experience
No.
like a
Nope,
ghostly
Right,
experience or anything.
Nothing. Not that either one of us expected to.
No, we didn't, but it was beautiful. I mean, the
Oh, yeah, it was
hotel was
gorgeous.
really, really nice.
It was beautiful. Our room was beautiful. The view was amazing.
Yeah, and Larry took
Everything
us
was
and
great.
showed us the where there were a couple of interesting incidents
Oh
that
my
have
gosh,
happened, which
yeah.
we're going to talk about here in a minute. But it was just, you know, really, really cool history and you know, some macabre parts
Oh,
of
yeah.
it. But
Macabre.
yeah, Larry was,
Well,
you know,
building that
very
old, some stuff's bound to happen in it.
well, sure,
Especially
yeah.
the building that it was.
Especially being a hospital, and the whole
absolutely.
third floor, I think, was the tuberculosis wing.
Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah.
I.
So you
And
had
that
a
was
lot
the
of
most
death
activity,
there.
right? on
Yeah,
the
that's
third
what they
floor.
claimed. Yeah, because we were on the second floor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Now, one of the things that we got to do, guys, this was really cool. I didn't think it was that cool at the time. I mean, I knew it was cool, but the Otis elevator.
Oldest one working in the United, which is awesome, dude. And like some of the shit I was listening to, they're like, thing works like a champ. Like
it does.
It's a badass elevator.
Yeah, we rode it multiple times because it was just really cool. You know, to get to anywhere from the second floor, you had to do that or stairs. And again, with my foot.
Word.
So, and it was
you said
cool.
It was like the one with like the sliding gate and shit.
Yeah, and you put your room key. How did it work?
Get to the floors with the rooms, you had to have a key.
Yeah.
And you turn your key to the floor you were going to.
Something like that.
Wait, was it a legit key, not a key card?
No, it was a legit key.
It was a key.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, it was a key.
Yep.
And then you could go to the floor, like the main floor in the restaurant and stuff, without a key.
Yeah.
But to get to the floors where the rooms were, you
Yeah,
had to have a key to
makes
get up,
sense.
which is good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Very, very, you know, for as old as it is, it's very, you know, safe and, you know, tech savvy. They've got, you know, credit and debit and all that stuff. They got a cool gift shop with lots of neat things there. Pretty much everywhere around there in Arizona is what's the prickly pear?
Oh yeah, prickly pear, everything. God,
Candy,
it's just
fucking
everywhere.
Oh my, lollipops and corn or popcorn flavored with that. I mean, it's
lemonade.
Just lemonade. I mean, you name it, they make it in prickly pear.
Yep.
It's crazy. So they're all about that there, but they, you know, had a lot of cool souvenirs. Yeah, it is really good.
Right? I mean, shit.
So, yeah, it was just a very classy place. And there's a couple of real mysterious deaths that happened at the hotel. And the one I wanted to mention that kind of also gave me the willies when you think about it in the context of The Shining was the place had stood vacant for a number of years after the hospital closed. And the owner hired a caretaker to take care of the place. And anybody that knows anything about horror and has seen The Shining before knows that's kind of a little similar to that story with this
Jack's
guy
fucking job
staying at this hotel while they're closed, you know, type thing. And he goes a little kooky. And so anyway, this guy apparently had a spouse that was ill, and her family wasn't approving of him for, you know, apparently drank. And again, that's another thing with The Shining. And so they took her away, and he was distraught that his wife was gone. And I think they might have had a child as well, gone. So he's just distraught. And so he hung himself there. And so Larry took us to where that happened, which is creepy. And you think
literally exactly.
Yeah, like right underneath the pipe, like right there is where it happened.
Oh, that's where he hung him. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was just. It wasn't like he
Right
meant to
above
do it.
us.
It was
No.
just that's where he was standing. It was like,
by
that's
the way,
kind of
it's
wacky.
literally right there.
Yeah, and then the other one, which was really strange, when Larry's brother ran the hotel. If you go on YouTube and watch any of the ghost hunt stuff, you'll see this. There's a chalk outline of, you know, which is of course tape, but you know, it's an outline that looks like a chalk outline. And it's a body laying by this elevator, the same elevator we were talking about, the elevator shaft, with the head missing to give the idea that the elevator took his head off.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which is brutal, of course.
Yeah.
And there's lots of pictures of it in video, but it's not there anymore. We were right there where that was, and it's gone. Larry and his brother, I guess, disagree in that his brother seemed to be more prone to the ghost side of the hotel, which is totally legit, or Larry maybe not so much. So Larry's not about all that. So he said that it didn't happen that way. He said the guy died, but that, you know, they did an autopsy and everything was there and the head was still attached.
He was not decapitated. His head
Yeah.
was not crushed.
There's just no floor there to put a chalk outline where his head was hanging off, basically.
I guess.
Yeah.
Or they moved it a little closer to make
just
it look
to make
like
it
that.
look super fucked
You
up.
know, who knows
Yeah.
why, but it's a story, it's a legend, and this would have been in 1935. So the caretaker was 1980, and The Shining, the book came out in 77, and I thought the suicide happened before the book, but it was actually the reverse. So I wonder if he read that and got any ideas, but very odd coincidence
this
of
book sounds like my fucking life.
a
right
male
now,
caretaker with his family with a drinking problem loses
I'm fucking
it.
done with this
that
shit.
sounds like a book here. So anyway, and there was another woman I read about by the last name of Guthrie that jumped to her death from the 3rd floor. No reason for the suicide is known in the stuff I read. And another man in a wheelchair fell from a balcony, and they also suspected a suicide with that one as well. So I got about a 5-minute clip of the walkthrough that Jenny and I did with Larry, the owner of the Jerome Grand, and he talks about the 2 incidents I just referenced, the caretaker as
And the
well as
elevator.
the elevator incident. So check this out.
Let's see, I think in 1983, well, there was 2 deaths. We're going to go back in the elevator room for the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Hoffpower was a caretaker up here. He worked for Phelps Dodge, and they wanted him just to stay here because of they were starting to have problems with kids getting in. And anyway, he hung himself. So that's one of the spook stories you hear.
Right.
But it really happened. And I met the chief of police at the time, Ron Ballator, and he actually walked in here and he said he was so close to the ground, he said, I just started talking to him.
Oh, wow.
Thinking,
Sure.
and then noticed that things weren't right. And he hung himself off that pipe and he was right here.
Oh, wow.
That's where he was.
Wow.
So
Interesting.
one of the main reasons that he was a heavy drinker and everybody, but he was well liked. And his wife, many years had cancer, and his wife's sisters came out and decided he was a bad influence on her, wouldn't allow him to see her.
Oh, wow.
And that's basically why he was so down. Actually, the better one is in the other room, if you want, on the macabre side.
Sure.
In 1935, Claude Harvey, they found him right here. The only problem it caused is they were going through the sale at the time. So they didn't want any loose ends. And they had the inquest, which I believe was the same day. And of course, it was considered an accident. So that solved the problem. And when we got here, I got to read the inquest. I'm not sure if it's still here. This is high voltage, so. It could be on there. You have to turn it off there. This little gizmo here, see that round wheel? Mm-hmm. That's called a reverse relay safety. And it requires 3-phase to run it. It's high voltage, so it's 440 3-phase. And that, sometimes your phases will reverse. They've been known to, the phase will switch. They don't mean to do it, but it does happen. That would disable the elevator, because then the elevator would think down was up and up is down.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't want that to happen. The secondary safety part about it is if you lost any of the 3 fuses, it would drop the elevator out of service. When I went through the inquest of what Claude Harvey in 1935, they were mentioning that he was laying here. His head was not crushed or anything. They found a scrape on his forehead, and there was a small cut behind his ear. And the doctor was asked, what was the cause of death? And he said, well, we assume a broken neck. Now, they never took him up 2 floors to the x-ray room. They just assumed it was a broken neck.
Wow.
But when the first guy got here, the elevator was trying to move. Okay, and we had gone through that. the safety switch there had been hot wired. So that the elevator would run, if you dropped one, it would try to run on the 220, or it would try to run even if the relays reversed. It had nothing to do with the elevator safety, it was just to protect the equipment. And once we took the hot wire out, it's still there, it works perfect. In perfect work. There's no reason you would ever hot wire that.
Yeah.
You know.
That's interesting, because I did hear or read something about some controversy of, was it a murder? And, I did see something with like a
yes,
like
well,
a chalk
type
album.
My brother used to have a thing here, showed where the body was. And then if you drop the cage comes down, there's still room. You could turn your head and stick it between the wall and the deal. His head wasn't chopped off and all this other stuff you hear.
Right.
But that was hot wired.
Interesting.
And it had to have been done before they closed it in 1950. I don't know.
Very interesting hearing from somebody that's grew up there, been in a family business since it opened.
Known the history of it since he was a kid and everything.
Yeah, really cool. And Jenny, he was very. It was interesting because he's kind of a quiet guy, but then as we walked more, he got much more talkative, and it was a lot of fun.
Yes, he was pretty funny by the end. He was cracking jokes and
because I think it was a little intimidating. You get this recorder, and he's not that kind of a guy. But it was super cool. So again, thank you to Larry and everybody there. That was cool. So we had a great visit. Didn't experience anything strange ourselves, but there is a guest book in the lobby where some of the guests have filled things out. Jenny, did you look at that at all?
I kind of flipped through it.
Did you?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them on the internet. You can look at them if you're interested.
And see what accounts people had written down.
Yeah, what people say about it. Yeah, there's a lot of them that claim activity, but like Jenny was saying, it's mostly the third floor, which was, I think, where the tuberculosis wing was. So you, had a lot of deaths up there, I guess. I'm not sure, but it's supposed to be more active up there, but there were stories from all over the place in the building. A lot of those paranormal investigative type shows have been there. So you can Google this or YouTube it and find all sorts of things on that if that interests you. So the owner, Larry, believes that there's not much to it and would prefer to kind of distance himself from that kind of stuff. But his brother maybe was more into it. Who knows? Whatever the case may be, super nice guy and a really cool, amazing place. Now, Joey, I originally thought, the caretaker, like I was saying, had inspired The Shining. It was the other way around. Maybe the caretaker got some ideas. Who knows, right?
Yeah, and especially in those times. I mean, Stephen King was so fucking big, everybody's reading him anywhere.
Well, sure.
You could get his books in Jerome, probably, or wherever he was at.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, you're holed up in this kind of old, creepy place, and you're reading a book like that, and you're kind of feeling down, family's gone.
But it is funny, though, because you get a situation like that, and you hear something, and it's almost like you've already visualized it in your head because you've, it sounds so much like... the movie.
Yeah, because you've kind of seen it
either
already.
one. So as soon as you're hearing it, that's like playing in your head exactly like that. Like,
right?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's why, like I said, you walk down the hallways, and of course it wasn't the same pattern as The Shining, but it had a pattern to it, and I'm thinking like, oh my God, Danny, come play with us, that kind of shit. It's just creepy. And there's a lot of artwork. I mean, it's a very interesting place. I mean, what was it like the first time clock? One of the first time
clocks, like punch clocks.
Yeah.
Like clocking into work.
Yeah.
The first one ever made is
still works too.
That's
I think.
Crazy. Yeah, you could use it.
I hate those things. That means I got to be at work.
I mean, they were talking about that shit, like, because with all the ore that was there and how it blew up so fast that for a second, whenever it was like really a boom town, like you were saying,
right,
getting a post office and getting electricity and like all that shit, like as just as quick as the modern cities were getting for a second.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it had to happen fast.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and, to get to it, get it up to Jerome would be a challenge in those times. That's for sure. So, anyway, another place that is, very popular up there, the Haunted Hamburger, we mentioned it. We ate lunch there the first day. Very popular, was huge, busy. It was like 2:00. Jenny, we were
Something
there.
like that. Not
And-
what you'd consider lunchtime.
No, and we had to get on a waiting list. It took about an hour, just under an hour.
Something like that.
But it was just enough time. We walked across the street to that bar and had a drink and just sat in there and talked to that lady. It was super nice. And
Couple
then,
drinks.
Yeah, a couple drinks. And then we got a text that said, "Okay, your table's ready," and we went and ate. But you know, it's a burger place, nothing really special. But there's a lot of history. And Joey, you were talking about that what you saw or Chris, you were talking about what you were listening to, I should say, about the handprints on the inside
of the glass the next day after they had closed up.
Yeah, like a little kid.
Yeah, there was the other one. People say they see a fucking like ghost cat.
Oh yeah,
like wandering around. And there's like no cats. Like they don't have any record of anyone there having a cat.
Oh wow.
And also there was the lady in the white dress or whatever that people kept saying they saw.
Oh, okay.
Like all over the place. And it's pretty messed up that. Like people kept seeing all these sightings apparently.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot of it. It's not just a few people. I mean this is a pretty pervasive throughout. A lot of people have claimed they've had these experiences. I thought it was an okay place. Nothing wrong with it. It was just I didn't know if it was worth waiting an hour to get to it, but it was cool. The cool name and everything.
We can say we went there.
Yeah, we say we went there.
Bucket list.
It's it is a cool place. I would recommend checking it out, but it's not anything too over the top. But when the mines were booming, there were more bars and brothels per square mile than anywhere in the U.S., which is why it got dubbed by the New York Sun the wickedest town in the West. So definitely, pretty crazy stuff. One of the interesting sites in Jerome, Chris, is the sliding jail.
Yeah,
definitely very interesting. Built out of concrete. Apparently, they attached it to a wood and tin structure. Probably not
on the side of a fucking mountain.
Yeah. And the jail only had 2 cells and a little mechanical room, Chris. Not a whole lot there, but
it's like the size of the studio.
Yeah. And it's concrete though, and it's attached to this little tin piece of shit.
I mean, I'm sure as soon as a motherfucker is not drunk anymore, they let him out.
Right.
That's as long as you're staying in jail.
Yeah, it's like
there.
Otis fucking shit
exactly.
there.
Yeah, they fucking.
So in the 1920s, with all the blasting that happened in the mines below, it changed the fault line and the jail slowly slid down 225 feet to where it currently sits. I mean, and it's like on an incline.
What some of the show I was seeing talking about it slides like an inch a year too.
Oh, it could. I mean, they've reinforced it, but
it's an inch a year.
It's a pretty steep pitch where it's still.
I didn't see any picture of that. I need to fucking. Why didn't I look that up? Because that
they're all over it. Yeah, it's like
thing.
fenced in. You can't
I'm
get
sure
at it.
that'd be awesome if you could.
But you could see it. I mean, it's no further from one end of this garage to the other. I mean, you're not that far from it. So it's pretty cool though to see. And there's a plaque and it explains it and stuff. But it's cool. Yeah, definitely check out some pictures. Now, Chris, did you ever do any time in a sliding jail?
No, not in a sliding jail. One that was not fun, but
I mean, not you, Joey?
Not that it's fun at all.
Sliding jails?
No sliding jails.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think any
good.
jails would probably be too fun.
No,
right, like I said, not that any of them were fun.
Yeah, right. So Jerome is definitely filled with weird stuff like that. The ghost stories are plentiful. I picked up the book Haunted Jerome. It's got a lot of good stories of that sort of thing. Little spirits, tales, of different places around the town. And with all the death in a small town like that, it's no wonder, many people believe it is haunted. And maybe it is. I don't know. I'm skeptical. We've talked about this before, guys, when we went up to Shakers. I mean, it's such an amazing place. And, whether you believe in that stuff or not, it's still interesting and it's still cool. And it's very
like
historical.
The stories behind it and everything. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's just a cool thing to be a part of. And so I feel the same way as I do about this. I respected it. It's cool. And I think some people are more perceptive to that sort of thing. I'm not one of those because I've been in so many of these places and I've never had anything. I should, never say never, but I've never had anything happen to me, and maybe if I did, I'd believe it. But right now, I'm very skeptical. But I still embrace it, and I think it's cool and very, very interesting.
It's like you go Shakers, and even if you're not big into like the supernatural part of it, the fact that it was Capone's fucking speakeasy,
yeah, that makes cool.
And same as this Jerome place, like it's probably the shit that you don't know that happens. Probably the craziest.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Like if those walls could talk, shit, because
sure.
it's been there forever. All kinds of crazy.
And it was
motherfuckers
originally a
living in it.
hospital. Fucking yeah. You know it ain't.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So, with the weird stuff like that, it's no wonder it's got such a, reputation. And, for a time when it was down to 100 people, they were having people coming in like Walking Dead, like going through these houses and checking stuff out. And they said people
scavenging and left everything.
Like, they just left and said, fuck it.
It's like when the goddamn college kids leave for the fucking summer. They just leave fucking everything.
Couches and beds.
Like,
and
whatever. I don't give a shit. Mom and dad paid for it.
But they were talking like, they were saying like Jerome, something I was reading about, you said like whenever it became a historical district or whatever, they claimed a historical spot, and basically without that and the ghost tourism, the town would have been done.
Oh yeah,
there wouldn't have been nothing else for it to be there. So
no,
because of those things, they've allowed it to still be sustained. Otherwise, like you said, all of a sudden pack up those last 300 people just gone overnight.
Oh sure,
there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah, because they just go to Phoenix or somewhere else, or somewhere all
here
together different.
Make a living somehow. We'll use the history of this town for that, which
and make it work. Yeah, I think it's really cool. So you got a lot of stuff like that. Places like the Haunted Hamburger, the Spirit Room that we talked about, the Jerome Grand Hotel. Surrounded by this kind of stuff. And I'm, like I said, skeptical about it, but it did save the town, and I think it's a good thing. Lots of the ghost stories kept the interest of those that like the macabre and salacious stories of opium, whiskey, prostitution, gambling, violence.
Sounds like a fucking party, bro. God damn.
A lot of good stuff. Many people turned up dead throughout the sordid history, and some people believe that those dead still walk the town of Jerome. So, very interesting. Now, Jenny, I know we didn't, weren't blown away by the Haunted Hamburger, but the asylum was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Do you know where this at the asylum comes from?
Yeah, well, it was actually the nurses. It was actually the nurses' quarters when it was a hospital, and they renovated it and made it a restaurant. It is a separate entity than the hotel, but they occupy the same building, so it's really cool.
Right.
But the food, Jenny, was awesome.
Amazing. It was just really fancy.
Yeah, the
we
waiter
didn't have to
was
dress
like
fancy,
ridiculously. Yeah, I think I had my Amityville horror shirt on. I felt like a fucking idiot,
I had my Straight Out of Sunnyvale t-shirt on, and they sell t-shirts that are like Straight Out of Compton, and it was Straight Out of the Asylum, and the girl actually asked me, "Is that one of our shirts?" I'm like, "No."
She was looking at it like, "Oh,
Trailer Park Boys."
Yeah, they were super cool there, but very, very fancy. So certainly not a place you're going to go grab a burger and leave, because it's expensive. But it was really nice, and it was like our honeymoon, because we went there so close to the wedding, not by design, but it just worked
honeymoon.
out. It kind of worked out that way, so it was cool.
Well, since we wouldn't have been able to take one after the wedding.
Well, yeah,
so we had to do the pre-wedding honeymoon.
It was like we knew.
Yep.
It was like we knew.
Boom.
So imagine how many deaths and serious injuries were caused by mining in those days. I mean, we've heard the horror stories, but there was no OSHA or MSHA, which is the Mine Safety Health Administration, to protect these guys. There were many stories of horrible accidents involving men being crushed by boulders, carbon monoxide poisoning, electrocutions, cave-ins, and more.
One of those books that you got has like a list of ways that people died.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like some ridiculous shit. Like,
I'm sure, dude.
By a train, logs from the train, just like all kinds of shit.
Oh sure, wow, yeah. I mean, when we did the tour with Larry at the hotel, which of course was the hospital, he talked about the tuberculosis floor and how many cases, how many lives were claimed during all that. And as I noted earlier, they say at 9,000, he thinks that number's inflated, but whatever it was, there's a lot of death that happened, a lot of miserable injuries from these mining accidents, just really brutal stuff.
Like black lung, all that shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it wasn't coal mining.
long-term
I know it wasn't
stuff,
coal
but
mining, but still, you're getting
can't
all
be
that
good.
dust in there.
You're still sending canaries.
Yeah, you're definitely still sending canaries.
Yeah, and there's silicosis and different things people can get from that type
one
of
the things I was
dusty environment.
Yeah, silicosis. Yeah, but one of the things I was listening to as well, they were saying that they didn't want to spend the money on the timbers to brace the walls up in the mines too. So that's how a lot of the cave-ins happened.
I didn't see
because
that.
People didn't, like the owners of the companies or whatever, didn't want to spend the money on the timbers. So they just straight up like, fuck it, just go in the fucking tunnel and
made it
deal
more
with
dangerous for everybody.
Right.
Wow, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff's unfortunate. You hear a lot of stories like that about workplace injuries and illnesses and just all sorts of problems that people get. No, just leave it, in that type of situation. So there were a lot of bordellos that operated in Jerome, as we mentioned. It was named the Tenderloin District. I thought was pretty funny. Supposedly Wyatt Earp and Billy the Kid were both in the same bordello at the same time and almost had a shootout, which would have been interesting.
That would have been fucking cool as shit.
The madams that ran the brothels were among the richest in the area, but with all that money came, of course, violence, and some of these women are killed by drug-addicted customers who were out of their minds with fucking opium and alcohol.
It's chasing that green dragon.
Jerome accepted it and made them pay taxes. So as long as they're paying them, they were cool to pay whatever.
Right, so that was like the first Vegas.
Pretty much, yeah. There are plenty of ghost stories that surround the bordellos. So, a whole side of it that you can explore with that. And Chris, I'm thinking you might have been found hanging around in that Tenderloin District, I'm thinking. Yeah.
I like me a nice tenderloin. Those things are fucking good, dude. And everything that comes with it.
So the Mile High Grill and Inn was actually under construction that day we were in Jerome, and this is supposedly another haunted location with a former madam of a bordello that occupied the building in the early 1900s where she was murdered, and her ghost is believed to still haunt the place. We were going to eat lunch there, actually, walk by it, but there was, work trucks, and they were that place was totally closed.
It's
pretty small. It's a small place. It's
right.
like more like a little diner or something. The Connor Hotel and Spirit Room are also very interesting. Tales of violent fights that started from, lovers' quarrels to wives scorned by cheating husbands. Just all sorts of crazy shit.
Just
stories
drunk
like
debauchery.
That.
That's
Very
all
much.
it was.
One wife known to have thrown acid in the face of a school teacher involved with her husband. That was pretty brutal.
I bet you she had a good time. Tripping balls up for days.
This happened in the bar. Dozens and dozens of stories like that. Plenty of paranormal experiences have happened in the Connor Hotel and Spirit Room Bar. So, Joey, it does seem odd that many of the haunted places we've talked about are drinking establishments. Why is that?
I mean, you know why, right? Spirits.
There you go.
Duh.
Duh. Yeah. Exactly.
But no, that is, I mean...
It is funny, but, you think about it, drinking, you get all sorts of dumb shit.
Yeah.
Fights,
motherfuckers get stupid.
killing each other,
And
just stupid
not only
shit.
that, but people are getting fucking lit up and wasted, and they're fucking sitting there remembering lost ones or things like that.
They
So
get
it's
mad.
already in your mind. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You're ruining, like, somebody that might be dead. So, of course, you might be, I seen that motherfucker by the
Exactly.
pool table the other day.
Right?
Yeah, because you're all drunk and you think you saw it. Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah, it's definitely...
I'm sure if there weren't so many deaths, a lot more opium dens would have been considered haunted because those people saw all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah. Now, there was a paranormal company that was near the Haunted Hamburger that they take groups out and they do these tours at night and day, and some of them are like, just a van tour, and then some you actually get out and walk around and stuff. We checked it out. It was a little pricey, but neither of us are that into it, so we didn't want to pay for that. But it was cool. I mean, it was interesting, and it looked like they had a good business. I mean, they were all over the place. Saw their flyers everywhere, and so that's cool. So if you're into that, go check them out. They're, like I said, kind of right across the street from the Haunted Hamburger and next to that Wicked City Ale or something like that.
Something like that.
It was something like that.
Those tours were probably more aimed, a little more family friendly.
Yeah, I'm
Probably.
Than us going to the Cannibal City tour and walking around talking about Dahmer at gay bars.
Yeah,
and shit.
right. That's very much. I guarantee it's very much.
Yeah, that's
not
definitely
like that.
not family friendly.
So here's where you're going to go get his dick, son, and then he's going to kill the motherfucker
And chop his dick off and put it in a jar.
and fucking I got a whole.
Don't need bookends. We've got all sorts of body
We got
parts.
skulls, we got rib bones. I got a whole shrine in the back.
So Jerome is a very, very interesting town with a very unique history. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you're ever in Arizona. It's really a nice go-between, between what we did, Phoenix, up through Sedona, which is very nice, and then into the northern part of the state where you get to the Grand Canyon and stuff, which is really cool. Where we did in Williams, Arizona, you take the train up to the Grand Canyon, which is real nice. So it's there's tons of stuff like that to do. And we went in February, which is a great time to go because they offer a lot of discounts because that's not a big
touristy season.
Yeah, it's not a season. Yeah. So, but to me and her, coming from here, it was perfect.
From here, it's like, this is
in
fucking.
the 50s,
It was amazing.
It was nice,
Good weather.
I have to think
Absolutely
about it because,
amazing.
the Cubs spring training's out in Arizona. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure,
yeah.
so that would be
That
cool.
was just starting.
Go out
because-
to a game and then go see Jerome.
Well,
or something.
yeah, there were guys when we were going down there were people they were going to
Specifically
that
for
was
that.
what they
Yeah.
were there
Yeah.
for.
That'd be
There was a
fucking
lot
tight,
of it.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, when my brother got married, they lived in Phoenix, and when we went down there for the wedding, it was during spring training, so we got to go to a game.
That's
That was
awesome.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and you could take right out of Mesa or Peoria. You can go Peoria to Mesa direct flight.
Yeah,
And
3
Mesa's,
hours,
couple hours drive to get up to where Jerome is and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Right.
But you're close
Yeah.
to Phoenix. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not far. So I mean, you rent a car and do what we did. It's pretty inexpensive, honestly. It really is. So I would definitely, recommend checking it out. Support the local shops, buy some cool stuff. There's tons of it. Jenny, anything to add to the Jerome story that I missed?
Nope, I think you covered it.
Okay, very good. Chris, Joey, any parting shots on Jerome?
I probably had something, but I forgot it the second I thought of it.
Yeah, you guys would definitely have fun there.
Oh, I'm sure I
It's
would.
wild.
I bet it'd be like the big J in the woods. I'm down.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I said, I came into this one this was Pete's because you and Jen had gone and
Right.
seen it, and this was a place I'd never even heard of until I started reading about it because of the podcast.
Right.
So I was like, no, this is Pete's. He's going to teach us about this one.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope it was entertaining.
Yeah.
So that's good. The research I did a variety of ways. Of course, our trip in February that we've been talking about, the Jerome Historical Society, we did a tour there and got some different stuff from them. A few different articles I read, as well as a couple different YouTube videos you can watch. There's quite a bit out there if you really want to learn. Even the town's website is very informative. A lot of the backstory.
Which actually, I'd never even thought about looking at the town's website.
Yeah, it's
Like,
all about this stuff. So you could find out everything I've talked about to much more depth by just going there, even if that's all you
Right.
did. Again, thanks to Larry Alter at the Jerome Grand Hotel for his time and his courtesy. It was very nice and a very, very beautiful hotel. Next time we're going to feature, though, a very strange motherfucker, Chris. This guy creeps me the fuck out, man. I don't know. Something about him with the cigarette
It was a
and the just
weirdo.
kind of freaky look to him.
He's fucking
and-
Scottish, bro.
Yeah. So the UK serial killer, Dennis Nilsen, definitely going to be an interesting one because he just died last year, I believe.
I believe you're right.
So he ended up on the list and saw something on him not long ago. I'm like, oh, yeah, we got to move him up. So he's kind of like the UK Jeffrey Dahmer. Now, he didn't eat anybody, but he was chopping them up and putting them in the toilets.
Hanging out.
Pretty fucked up.
Dude, the whole toilet clogging thing. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He just walks up
That
like,
poor
"Oh."
plumber, man. Yeah. What's going on?
It's
Gee.
so fucking bad, dude.
The drains are plugged, you know.
I wonder why.
Plumber's pulling out body parts. Like, what the fuck?
God.
And the interview with the
PTSD
plumber.
counseling after that.
Yeah.
Oh
the,
my God,
The plumber on the interviews is just talking about it's so fucking funny. Just listen to the plumber. Like
love it.
legit. Like he talks about it. It's pretty crazy.
my
So
God.
17 people he killed. It's going to be a good one. Number 99 next week. We're getting awfully close, Chris.
Oh, no,
Number
we're there.
100.
We're there. We got it recorded. We just
That's
need
right.
the date.
We actually did it, but yeah, you haven't heard it yet, but it's a good one. So thanks, Jenny, for sitting in with us and putting up with our stupidity.
Well, thanks for
Thank
letting
you,
me.
Jen.
And
Thanks for sitting in
I'm
with
sure
us.
we'll be back to Jerome
Need
since
to,
my
I
parents
hope
live
so.
so close.
Yeah.
Also need to get you and Stacy in here to do that whole mayhem story that we originally talked about before
yeah.
the
Yeah,
whole
that was
goddamn
very-
studio.
That was a long time ago.
That
Yeah.
was a long time ago. So I can hear that music faintly in the background. I think it's probably CK.
Yes,
Great metal motherfucker.
Yeah,
so
great metal motherfucker.
What are we going to
Let's
do,
get our
Chris?
metal on.
Known the world over as the master of metal, the crusher of posers, and murder metal mayhem's knower of all things metal, hailing from Wild Van Street in Danbury, Connecticut, standing at 6 feet of brutal, punishing madness, weighing in at 220 pounds of poser pulverization, the one, the only, toughest bastard on the planet, Chris C.K. Kovacs!
Oh, fuck yeah. I got the great metal motherfucker on there. What's up, CK?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, metal motherfucker?
Very good.
Much.
Got Joey Goremonger still here with us, CK. He's here. He's not left the building.
No,
He's still
not yet.
week 8.
He's here until the COVID-19 thing is done.
I think
He may be here for
You know,
COVID 27 or something.
If you got to be in quarantine, Cashman's probably got the best life about it.
I mean, I was actually, I was so fucking pissed off with these guys talking shit to me, I was going to leave and not show up for this episode. The only reason I'm here is to hear DRI. That's
Nice.
it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
Well, very cool, CK. Well, we are definitely interested to hear what you got to say about DRI, a band that
Well,
I don't know
first
much about it.
First, I'm going to tease you about, there's a little bit of time between DRI and something in the
Oh,
studio.
yeah. What is
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
deal
yeah.
with
It's,
that?
yeah. What's
what
up
is
with that? There's a
What's the main piece you guys that we have in the studio now?
the fucking head
Oh,
Spike.
Spike. I got
What's his
it.
name?
Nice, nice.
Spike Cassidy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying it, I was coming clear because me and Joey were just talking about
Yeah,
Spike.
literally.
Yeah, literally
yeah,
just
that's like-
talking
But
about
we
it.
didn't
real.
make that connection, though.
No, it did not. Did not. That's great. Well, that is funny. Yeah, he's like, it's like a temporary name. We're not 100%
Yeah,
sold
yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
it's
But you
like,
know, it's just a name that works
I
because
mean,
there's a Spike driven
Now
through
that I
his head.
associate it with Spike Cassidy, now I'm a little more inclined.
Right there,
To
you go.
leave it alone.
To just keep calling it that.
To just keep calling
You
it.
know,
like-
if it comes up with a good name, though,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Maybe it's
Cool.
like when
They're not all Dominus.
maybe it's like when Blue shows up at a random apartment
Yeah.
and he gets
Yeah.
a new name.
Dude, our buddy's dog, like, just real quick, even though it's not too much mayhem. And
Oh,
It's
sure.
funny
Dude,
though.
yeah, like Chris fucking saw this dog on his fucking Facebook feed one day, and it's our buddy's dog, and he's like, "Holy shit, is this Mark's dog?" So he
wow.
fucking hits him up and like, tells him, and the guy's not that far away. Fucking ends up going over there, whatever. Long story short, he gets there and the dog's not out there. He's like, "Where is this guy?" And there was one guy standing out at this apartment complex. Fucking so he walks up to him. He's like, "Oh, are you the guy?" He's like, "Yeah, I got the dog." They had brought it in the house. Like they had this dog for like 15 minutes. Brought it in the house. They had fed it. and fucking renamed it.
Oh, wow.
Is that fucking
They gave
weird?
it a new name. And the fucked up part, too, is, like, Blue has a collar on with fucking Mark's phone number and everything on it,
They
dude.
just
Like,
said, "Fuck it."
fuck it. And
Finders
then posted
keepers,
on
but-
Facebook, hey, found this dog over here. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I know who's fucking. It's just so fucked up. They, like, gave it a new name and everything.
So
They're like,
weird.
Wow, that is weird. Well, CK, you got that as your intro into talking about your topic tonight. So, what are you going to educate us on, buddy?
DRI, affectionately known as the Dirty Rotten Imbeciles.
Hell yeah, dude.
And we've talked about crossover, and I know we talked about like New York crossover as far as like Agnostic Front being the catalyst for that. DRI is pretty much the catalyst for the whole fucking scene, in my opinion.
Especially from the South, too.
Oh yeah, and the funny thing is they were from Houston. They formed in Houston, Texas, so they're a Texas band. They formed in '82, and I'm not going to go through the band members. Another one where there's like fucking 20 band members that were in and out, but basically, you know, the two main catalysts are Spike Cassidy and Kurt Brecht, and they've been together since the beginning, and they've never broken up. The original drummer was actually Kurt Brecht's brother Eric, and the reason why they got the name Dirty Rotten Imbeciles is because they used to rehearse in Kurt and Eric's house, and it used to piss off their father. He used to get home from work, they would be jamming, and we'd come in and he'd be like, "What the hell are you doing?
You're
Why
making
you hanging
all
out with
this
these
noise."
guys?"
Yeah.
Pretty much, you know, these guys are nothing but dirty, rotten imbeciles.
Nice.
And actually, if you listen to Dealing With It, the beginning of Madman, it's actually about their father, and it actually takes a recording, I guess, from when they were rehearsing, where the father's going off on him, and you could actually hear Kurt. He's got such a frig when he talks. You can hear he's got that Texas dialect.
Nice.
So it's kind of funny, but
Fuck off, Daddy.
Yeah, it's like, I could get up, but they formed in '82 and quickly recorded what was an EP 7-inch called DRI, and it was limited to 1,000 copies, and it's 22 songs in 17 minutes or 18 minutes.
Ah, damn.
And this is when
Wow.
the band was considered like the fastest band on earth, because they played so fast.
Every song's just quick as shit.
It was just, you know, and I heard about them through because Dave Lombardo, like in the early days of Slayer, he used to talk about these guys all the time.
Yeah, he used
I'm
to
like,
wear the
DRI.
shirts all the time.
Yeah, and he used to be like how fast they're. But the first 7-inch you couldn't find, because as soon as they did the 1,000 copies, it was gone.
Like,
Eventually
it just
they
sold
released-
out quick as fuck.
Yeah, it was just, and I don't know if I looked for it on eBay. I couldn't even find it on eBay.
Really? I'm sure if you did,
Yes.
it wouldn't be cheap.
No, it'd probably be like, you know, a couple $100 at least.
I got
And they
the
reissued.
I got the cassette of Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, the first album or whatever, and it's still got the fucking, like, the hand stamped address to where you could write to them or whatever, because they hadn't put it in the
cool.
the booklet
Oh, really?
or whatever, so they obviously did it after the fact or whatever. So yeah, I've always held on to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty cool.
But yeah, that was the re-release. They re-released it on 12-inch, eventually cassette, like you said, Joey. And I searched for this fucking thing everywhere, and I finally found it in this mall in Trumbull, Connecticut, where they had a record store that I kind of had imports, and I saw it and I grabbed it. I didn't give a shit how much it cost. I grabbed that
I'm
fucking
buying
thing.
this motherfucker. This is mine. My name ain't
Yeah.
CK for a reason.
And I bought it home. I put it on the turntable. I was like, oh my God, how do they play this fast? And it's like just 18 minutes of just speed. And eventually they were signed by Metal Blade's new imprint, Death Records, which I believe we talked about before.
Oh yeah, the Mentors.
Quick question: do you still own that album that you bought?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. All right, I figured you would. I just had to check.
Yes, I do.
All right.
I don't play it. I have it in plastic. I haven't played it in years, but I have it.
Right, but you have it. That's what's awesome.
I have it. It's one of the few that I saved when I sold my original record collection in the 90s like an asshole because I thought vinyl was done.
At least you kept the Oz album, though, dude.
Yeah. But before they put out the second album, they put out a 7-inch entitled Violent Pacification, which is a 4-song 7-inch, which again is just fucking pure fucking speed. And I actually still have that one. That's another one that I kept.
God damn, dude.
And I think that 7-inch is like worth like minimum like $30-$40 right now.
I was gonna say that's probably worth a little bit of money at this point in time.
Yeah, but I won't get rid of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
it's part of your estate.
Yeah. Something happens, Laura could sell and probably have millions from all my shit.
Oh, dude, just the fucking shoes, man. Holy shit. She could, like, go buy Reebok with the fucking money you got in fucking
like the
shoes.
company Reebok.
She walks in the door and says, motherfucker, get out of here. This shit's mine.
So, in 85, they signed with Death Records, which at the time, they had the Mentors, the Google Dolls, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Which, Pete, you have a tie with those
Oh,
guys.
God, yeah, I do.
Which at some point you might want to discuss.
That
I
might
don't
be
know.
a funny one, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
which
on
is,
the same
which at
label as
time,
the Goo Goo Dolls, yeah.
Which at the time, they were just a really bad punk band.
They were really bad,
But
yeah.
they used to like play with like Cannibal Corpse.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
well, they
saying.
were from
In the-
Buffalo, so
Yeah,
that's why they were playing with
In
Corpse.
the fucking cover of the Bleeding album,
Yeah.
like Cannibal Corpse,
Yeah.
shakes, thanks, fucking
Yeah,
the Goo
they're
Goo
all
Dolls. I'm
buddies,
like,
dude. Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
No, they're all cool. No,
Yeah,
it's funny.
yeah. But eventually, they just turned into this.
Yeah, radio sensation, man.
Johnny Resnick just turned into a songwriter that for a while he couldn't miss. And,
Yeah, no, it was amazing. Nice guy too. I mean, I gotta say.
I have nothing against. I kind of like some of their shit, but on to DRI.
Yes,
So they released Dealing With It in '85, and that album, you kind of saw them going kind of towards a more metal side, but they still had the fucking speed. And Dealing With It is one of those albums, a handful of albums that if I can't decide what to listen to, I could always throw that on no matter what mood I'm in. It's one of those albums.
Right.
And I actually just listened to it today, and it's still a great album. But you saw him kind of like, turning more. There was a little bit more metal riffs to their stuff, a little bit more metal and crossover as far as the punk thing. The first EP was pure speed hardcore.
Right.
That was it. Shortly after that, they released what was considered a crossover masterpiece called Crossover.
Literally called Crossover.
Called Crossover.
They're like, oh, Venom, you do black metal? We're going to do crossover.
Right.
But that album kind of solidified them as, to me, the kings of crossover. And when I say they started to slow down a bit, they were still faster than most bands. They just slowed down from what they used to sound like. But they were still fucking fast, no doubt about it.
Sure.
And they kept that speed element. They still have that speed element to this day. And quickly in '88, Four of a Kind they put out, keeping the crossover theme. And '89, which is probably my favorite DRI album, which is Thrash Zone.
Yeah.
That's like that's the biggest one that people know of, I think.
Yeah, and that was the one to me that was the crossover album, where they mixed the metal and the hardcore perfectly with the speed. That one had a little bit more breakdowns to it than the other albums. And I mean, and after '89, that's when the tide of music was changing. Their contract with Metal Blade was up, and at that time, Metal Blade was like early '90s. They were signing some shit bands anyway, and they were. I mean, at that time, Metal Blade was kind of losing their identity. I think the only thing they had that was worth anything was Cannibal Corpse and Galactic Cowboys, and that was pretty much it at the time. So they signed with Rotten Records in '92, and Rotten Records has nothing to do with them. It's a separate label. A lot of people think it was their label, but it wasn't. It's just a label out of California.
I always thought they owned it too. I didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah, at first I thought they did, and I looked it up, and it's actually a separate label that they have nothing to do with financially.
They just got signed to it, huh?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because after that, well, besides them, where I first heard them after that was Acid Bath was on Rotten Records.
I was going to say Acid Bath was signed to them as well, yeah, their first album. They put out Definition, and it still kept with the same style. Though in the 90s, 92, they didn't change their style for anybody. They're like,
we're going to play
a lot
our
of people
music.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. They stayed true to what they were doing. And in 95 was their last, believe it or not, full length was in 95 where they came out with Full Speed Ahead. After that, like in 95, they were still together and touring. They just didn't put anything out. And I believe it was 2006, Spike Cassidy found out he had colon cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And I like other metal guys like James Murphy and Chuck Billy, they had benefits for him for his medical care. He beat it. And ever since Full Speed Ahead in 95, they've been talking about a full length. That their songs written, their songs recorded, they're working on it, and they still do tours. Actually, a couple years back, their catalog was bought up by Beer City Records in Milwaukee.
Oh, nice.
There's a shocker. They reissued all their stuff on CD with bonus tracks from the first album, the self-titled DRI to them crossover, because I think Four of a Kind and Thrashland are still owned by Metal Blade. But finally in 2018 they released a 4-song EP with 2 new songs and 2 re-recorded songs, and they say they're coming out with a new album in 2020.
See what happens with the way this year's going.
Yeah, who knows?
Jesus.
I don't think it'll be this year. Hopefully it'll be next year, but god damn, it's 25 years. I'm looking forward to a full length by these guys.
I bet. I mean, me too, but yeah, I mean, 25 years is a long fucking time, dude.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Well, that was cool.
But I mean, these guys are probably the biggest influence on crossover in all the scenes. New York, California, wherever. This is the band that started it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I got to agree with you from hearing what you just said, dude. It's I didn't know a lot about them, so it's really cool.
But like I said, if you want to start out with an album, get Dealing With It. That is the album to me that
and Thrash Zone. Thrash Zone was the other one.
Yeah, which is like kind of like right between them fully going crossover and their hardcore style.
Right. Very cool. Well, you got another lost classic for us tonight, CK. Who are you going to talk about tonight?
Trauma.
Nice.
Yeah.
And goddamn, the title went right out of my fucking
Scratch
mind.
and Scream.
Scratch and Scream. And if Trauma sounds familiar, that was the band that Cliff Burton.
Right. He played with before he was in Metallica. That's right.
Fucking familiar, dude. Shit.
So was he on that album, CK?
No. Here's the thing with this album. I'll go through real quick the brief history of this album. This is recorded in '84, obviously after Cliff left Metallica. They signed with Shrapnel Records, and Shrapnel Records is, for trying to be signed to Shrapnel is weird because Shrapnel is kind of like a guitarist label. A band like
any band.
Richie Kotzen was signed to him. Racer X, Paul Gilbert's band was signed to him. All the guitar virtuosos were signed to
Pelletier, all that kind of shit.
Right, to Shrapnel. And they released that album in '84, and they kind of had an identity crisis because they weren't thrash, they weren't traditional metal, they had both elements. And when that album came out, it kind of got lost in the mix. I don't think it was promoted well at all. And it was kind of forgotten about. And went out of print, and I believe like 2014 they reissued it on CD with bonus tracks from demos that Cliff did before he left Trauma.
Oh, cool.
I think it's got three bonus tracks with songs from Cliff. And I really dig the album. I think it's a great album. It's more of a new wave of British heavy metal sound in my opinion. And it does have thrash elements. And it's got some catchy hooks. It's got some good tunes on it.
That's
it's
cool.
Still available on CD. I can't find it on any streaming platforms.
Really?
Except for YouTube, yeah.
Okay, YouTube. All right. Which
Yeah,
is
and I
fine
know
with me.
Google Play is going to become YouTube, or is like merging into YouTube, because I've got a Google Play account, so that'll be interesting. I don't know when that switch is going to happen. Do you know, CK?
I have no clue. I think it's going to be like a slow
that's what
integration.
They said. That's what they were saying. Very interesting.
But
well, cool. I don't know. I wouldn't mind checking it out. I don't think I've ever heard them before, so I wouldn't mind checking it out.
And they're still around, actually. They just they put out they reformed like in 2014, put out an album in 2015, put out another in 2018, and the actual bassist now is what's his face? He used to be in Testament.
Geez, who the fuck am I? Oh, Greg Christian.
Greg Christian, who
oh wow.
has a beef with Testament. I don't know why, but right now he's in Trauma.
Interesting. Okay.
So
well,
check them out.
Yeah,
the CD's available.
All right. Now these guys were talking about something fucking crazy, CK. I don't know if you know about this, but Joey, what's the deal with this Death Angels drummer coming out of a coma?
I read that.
What's funny is I have the fucking. I've got it right here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read it.
Saying that.
Yeah, go ahead, CK.
So he went into a coma. Let's explain that in case somebody doesn't know what we're talking about. He went into a coma. He had the coronavirus
from doing the tour.
They were on tour.
He said he saw when he was in the coma.
Satan.
They thought he was dying or something like that, and he thought he was in hell.
Satan's a woman.
Something like that.
I'll read it. I'll read exactly what he said.
Casper's gonna quote this shit.
He said, I did have some outer body experiences. I went to hell and Satan was a woman and I was being punished for sloth. I was this giant, obese Jabba the Hutt type creature. I was vomiting blood and kept on vomiting blood until I had a heart attack, which is kind of weird because I had a heart failure during my coma, which he did. Then he continued to say, I remember rising up from hell and floating above my body, and once I got to heaven, it was horrifying there, too. It was like a Roman orgy, and the angels were scarier than the demons.
It's like the best song when it's ever going on, dude.
I shot back down to earth, and I was with some friends in a nightclub, and I didn't know why I was there. That's the last thing I remember until I woke up, and my first words to the nurse were, am I still in hell? And she just ignored it. One last thing he said is he was like, because they were asking him, because, he was a Satanist and practicing all that or whatever. Or that's like his strongest belief. So they were asking him about that, and he said, I'm still gonna listen to satanic metal, and I still love Deicide and bands like that. As far as for my personal life and my experience of what I went through, I don't think Satan's quite as cool as what I used to.
right.
Damn. What's his name?
Carol.
Will
Carroll, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I think he's just fucking with people.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah,
That's fucking
because
crazy.
I'm gonna read another quote after this, like, because I came across this other thing, like, people are blowing this shit way out of proportion. So he said, to make things clear, I'm not some holy roller all of a sudden. I won't be attending church every Sunday. I won't be quoting scripture. I still like and have an interest in evil music, movies, and art and literature, but this experience quite frightening to the point where I truly believe in a higher power, and he's got to figure out his own higher power. Which, I mean, going through that, I don't know, but at the same time, he's like, I'm not gonna. I didn't just like change like that, motherfuckers.
Right. That's funny. Wow.
But no, the whole fucking his description of his thing when he was, is like insane.
I think he's fucking with people
I hope
just to, you know.
Dude, it's so awesome.
It is awesome. Wow. You know what else is awesome though?
That 666 Club?
Isn't it, dude? I mean, if you're in that fucking club, man, that's an exclusive right there, because you're getting...
Shit, that's like a Jabba the Hutt creature right there. Shit.
You are stuck inside in this pandemic shit going down, or it's minimal, you know, slowly working itself back, but you're still bored. You can go to patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem for only $3 a month. Get some bonus content, VIP access to the show, get everything early, 10% off merch. And I'm going to start uploading those bonus, the interviews, the full interviews I've been doing are going to be Patreon only.
Yep.
So we want to thank the people that have already done that for $3 a month. So we'll link to that in the episode description.
Also, we already recorded the 100th episode on Son of Sam.
That's
and
right.
You'll be able to hear that a few days earlier too. And that's a good one.
Well, the 100th episode was on demonic possession.
The demonic possession.
Oh yeah.
We did it the same week. I know, dude. They're starting to run together.
It's like we're living this Corona life.
It's kind of like when people ask, what day is it? Thursday.
It's yestermorrow.
No, that is right. Yeah, we did them the same week.
We did. It's been crazy. That's what I was saying earlier.
So that
Holy
episode,
shit.
you can hear that one a little earlier. The demonic possession.
Yeah, we did them yestermorrow, man.
Well, actually, that 100th episode, the only thing that it was waiting on was my karaoke song, because I hadn't done one yet. And so I finished that up this weekend. So here, pretty soon, I'll have the 100th ready, and the Patreon members will get to hear it early. So, all right. Well, CK, that new fucking Creator album is absolutely fucking brutal, man. I love it.
They never failed to disappoint.
No, fucking London Apocalypticon. Holy shit, 17 songs, totally killer. Just unbelievable. Always blown away. Love the Live Creation album, and this is another one just as good. The quality is amazing. The song choice is fantastic, 17 of them.
And if you get the physical copy, you get the DVD with it.
Yeah, I figured so. I looked on Prime to see if it was on there.
Of course I got it. That was actually going to do that. That was actually going to be my next review, but
nice.
you guys fucked that
Oh,
up.
no, get on it.
Sorry about that, CK.
No, I got other things. I got plenty of shit to do.
Now, Joey, how's your new album doing, man? How's the Goremonger?
Pretty good, actually. Shipping orders out all over the place.
Awesome.
It's so
I got mine.
Yes, CK has his. With the Corona and shit, like, it's definitely backed up the mail system and all that. And, like, man, I had a ton of shit going. Like,
I got mine pretty quick. To tell
yeah,
you the truth.
you did. There were a few people that got them, but I mean, even like incoming to me, I've got stuff coming to me that's like,
it's
I'm
taking
just
forever,
watching
man.
it in the fucking, the tracking thing, like all around the country, like
What the fuck is happening right now?
Or it stays in the same place for like 3 days.
And I know how it is, but anyway, so people are ordering it. That's really cool, and also. This week I started putting all my digital full-length albums on YouTube, which is something I'd always want to do because people are just fucking always just chilling and listening to YouTube.
Right.
And I've never had my full albums on there. And
they are on there now.
Yeah, and it was like
awesome.
It was kind of like just like a generational thing where I just felt like I was sold. I'm like, how the fuck do I do this? And like, so, you know, I posted a thread about it and somebody just fucking hit me and like whatever they said just clicked to me. I was like, okay, let me try it. And then all of a sudden, boom, now I've got fucking, you know, like 20 of them up this week or whatever.
That's awesome.
We've just been chilling out watching movies. Cash would just be loading up fucking shit. It's fucking nice.
So anyway, go to YouTube, check out Goremonger. If your shit's on kid-friendly shit, you're not going to find it because it's not going to pop up because it's not for kids. But, you know, you can listen to...
The new album's fucking brutal.
Dude, I appreciate that. I have gotten a lot of good words on that album. So
awesome, dude. Awesome. Very, very cool.
That fucking custom artwork that he does on his own album. Dude,
yeah.
What about that? What do you think about that fucking album cover, CK?
That's fucking sick.
Dude.
All this shit is sick.
How awesome is that artwork, though? God damn.
And all his artwork is sick shit.
Yeah,
it's great.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff, Joey. So awesome. Awesome that it's doing well and good to hear everybody's, you know, digging on it. So I know it can be tough with a new album and getting reviews.
yeah,
And sometimes the reviews suck,
because,
you know.
Well, and even the bad reviews, I'll post them up and let people read them because I think they're funny.
Yeah.
I've been torn apart before, but the hardest thing really, this is like one of the first full lengths I've released where I didn't have like some shows lined up. Kind of around
trying to
it.
help promote it and shit.
Right, and that's where I get rid of a lot more of my shit usually is at the shows, and now we don't have that option. But we are doing next month, or in, was it July?
July.
I think it's July. We're going over to Iowa and playing at Bill Nye's house.
Oh, cool.
But we're doing a show, so that's technically like my next show, and we're gonna have like just the, you know, us, me, and Trash Dig.
No, it's June.
Bill Nye.
Because July,
yeah.
you guys are going to be
and
in Carolina.
Jesse's coming from Ohio.
Awesome.
To butt chug for us.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So it's going to be a fun time.
Oh, I'm sure. it will.
So anyway, you know, we're starting to see a little bit of stuff open up a little bit. That I got that show, and then in July I'm going out to North Carolina, to Raleigh, which I've seen them opening up more stuff too. So I'm fairly confident we'll be able to do it.
Right. Very cool. Well, anything metal, CK, we haven't touched on here tonight?
No, just I don't know if it's a if it's a funny story, but I heard Brian May's having health issues from Queen.
I did hear that, yeah.
First, you ripped apart his ass.
Ripped apart his ass?
Some gardening accident.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
I guess you literally ripped all the muscles in his ass.
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
Ouch.
Then he just had a heart attack the other day.
Oh, I did hear that, yeah.
It's a terrible back
Holy
to back.
shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
that fucking
And
really sucks.
No, he's one of those guys. He goes, I thought I was healthy. I ride a bike every day. I exercise.
Right.
And I have 3 clogged arteries.
Right. Yeah, it happens.
so-
But, like, how do you... What kind of fucking gardening accident...
Do you tear all your ass muscles?
Yes. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Supposedly he got up funny in a strange way, which I could see because I've done shit like that. And as he did, he ripped the gluteus muscle in his ass and shredded it.
I mean, it's better than ripping up your colon, right?
Yeah,
like your younger brother, Chris.
Well,
I mean,
I've done
usually
that.
when you're, you know, hanging out and you're ripping ass, that's a different kind of ripping ass,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like literally ripping your ass.
No,
Like,
I know.
Chris's brother was in the
My brother was in
hospital.
the hospital for a minute, dude. And CK, just let you know, they said he fucking tore his colon, dude. Like, what?
That's what happened to me.
Right, yeah,
I
that's what we're
believe
saying.
it. Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
Not
that
not
was like, I was
Michael.
like,
Adam, his
yeah,
younger
yeah,
brother.
yeah. Right, like right after Dad had heart surgery.
Oh,
dude.
wow, really?
Yeah.
How did he do that?
Fucking him and his wife do butt play, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't fucking know.
Okay,
had
I just said.
No, they
You
literally.
brought it up,
but
He's
my-
about to get surgery, get like 1.5 feet of his intestines.
But they told him a lot
wow.
of it was because of his
mine
diet. and
was
shit.
ripped apart
Yeah.
by a huge tumor. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
yours was.
Right, yours is way more
Attacked.
intense. Yeah.
no, I mean, when that happened, I knew when it perforated, because I never felt a pain like that in my fucking entire
Oh,
life.
I believe
Oh,
you,
my
sir.
God,
I believe
dude.
you.
And I thought I pulled a muscle, so I went 2 more days, not doing anything about it, until that Monday when I went to the hospital and they admitted me and told my wife I had a 1% chance of living.
Yeah, a 1%
Even make it-
chance is not
I had
cool.
1% chance to make it to surgery the next day, and they
Damn.
said even during surgery but I had 1% chance to make it after surgery.
Wow.
That's fucked.
So it was so fucking
You got a
bad.
1% chance to make it to surgery tomorrow. Well, motherfucker, take me to surgery now.
No, they had to drain all the shit.
Yeah,
they had to
I
stick
know,
a
I
tube
know.
down my throat. Yeah, it was fucked.
Oh boy.
That's another story to tell it another day.
Yeah,
Word,
that's
dude,
mayhem
word.
style. So anyway, guys, we've done our fair share of metal here tonight. So
Fuck yeah, we have.
CK, what do we need to do, my friend?
Mayhem.
Don't be late. First one out of the starting gate.
Have you heard about that food truck taking Baltimore by storm? Matheny Barbecue and more.
They've got the tastiest barbecue in town. I love their unique sandwich names like the crunchy Caucasian, the spicy Southern, or my favorite, the hungry human.
Owner Joe Matheny says he puts a lot of love into every sandwich he sells.
Only the freshest bodies. I mean, meat. It's sold at Matheny Barbecue and more. Find our truck on the corner of Bloody Rare Parkway and Cannibal Lane 7 days a goddamn week.
Wow.
Fucking already, dude.
Chris Shawback. Little Joe Matheny Barbecue and Grill. Very nice. With DRI beneath the wheel before that. Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Got CK still on with us. And, of course, Joey Goremonger here as well.
Yeah.
I know life's gonna fucking suck when you gotta go back to work, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be weird when well, eventually they will.
I mean,
get
that
back.
seemed like a Captain Obvious statement.
Right.
Things are gonna suck when you have to go back to work. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I know, because I gotta go to fucking work,
I'll
asshole.
always just say go
Right.
back to work.
Either that or you gotta get Tuesdays off.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll see what happens. I mean, things might even out after we come out of this.
Yeah.
My schedule might be more structured. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, CK, you said you had a good high school era story for us, and I told the guys that your story inspired my memory of this story that I'm going to tell from high school days. So we of course both went to Bethel High School in Bethel, Connecticut, and a couple years apart, but I want to hear your story. I'm anxious to check this out. You said it was kind of gross, so.
Yeah.
Parts of it is fucked up. I'll just leave it at that for now until you hear it.
All right.
But I totally forgot about this. I was at chemo last Wednesday, and it fucking just came to me, and I was like, holy shit, I totally forgot about this. So this is what it is. I was in 10th grade, so I think I'm like 16. We're in homeroom, and I'm friends with this kid, and he just moved to Bethel right before school started.
So he's the new kid?
And I became friends with him. We're in homeroom. And just to preface it, this kid was the kid who would do shit to fuck freak people out. Like take gum from under the desk and just start chewing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nasty
Shit like that.
Right.
So he comes in the homeroom. We're sitting there. And he squeezed his chin. I'm like, what the fuck you do? He goes, I got a zit coming in. It fucking hurts.
Oh, God.
I'm like, what are you doing? I go, why don't you give it a day and let it come to a head? He goes, no, I gotta get it now. He goes, it fucking hurts.
Oh, God.
So he squeezed, and I go, dude, you're just making it red. I go, just fucking leave it. He walks out of the class, comes back in, and there's like me, another friend, and him. And he's got a safety pin that he got from one of the girls out in the hall.
He just stabbing at someone's face.
But no. So I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm gonna fuck it. I go, dude, you're gonna get. No, I said, if you fucking put that thing in your face, you're gonna get an infection. I go, I'm just letting you know now. So in my mind, at this time, I did my due diligence in trying to persuade him not to do what I think he's going to do. So
and then after that, it's like, fuck it, do it, dude.
So if something happens bad, I did what I had to do. Now I can watch a train wreck. So I thought he was just going to, stab it and put... It's like one of those pimples that are starting to form but aren't there yet. So it's like...
Yeah.
You could see it, but you can't.
Right.
So he undoes the safety pin, takes the fucking textbook, and starts pounding it into his fucking chin.
Wait, what? Hold on. Wait, like using his fucking book as a hammer?
Yeah.
That's like John Wick.
Yeah, that's straight John Wick.
He takes that and does it like 10 more fucking times.
The fuck out of here, dude.
Oh my God.
So at this point, the pin's bent and he can't use it anymore. He probably did like 10,
it just bit off his chin bone and shit.
10, 15 times. And you could see like blood just slowly start to seep out.
That's fucking nasty.
So he takes the textbook that he used, puts it in front of him.
Oh God!
And he starts to squeeze, and like nothing's happening. And he's squeezing. He's like, you can see he's squeezing like everything he has. He stops for a minute. He stops for a minute, and all you hear is he goes, squeezes, and all you hear is like 3 or 4 pops, like if you'd snap your finger. And you see like a machine gun of shit coming out of his chin.
Oh my God!
So he had like a cyst on his chin.
That's nasty.
Wait.
He's like, wait, hold on.
I'm actually changing my story to coincide with this one of one I forgot about. Go ahead, keep going, because I got a good follow-up to this.
I thought he put the book so it wouldn't get the person in front of him with whatever pops out. Now at this time, it's like all this pus and blood just spurted out, and it was like yellow pus, and it stunk.
Like thick and fucking nasty.
Yeah.
It's gross, man.
So he takes his finger on the textbook, takes the pus and blood off, and puts it in his mouth.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
Oh,
that dude's hardcore, dude.
Like,
that's nasty,
I'm like,
man.
dude, what are you doing? He goes, it's nothing. I go, okay.
It ain't shit.
Wow.
So he finally gets it to stop bleeding. And I got, this is like homeroom, so we got the end of the day. And I think, like, either the last period or second to last period, I had another class with him. And I see him, and his chin is like beet red.
Oh,
I
sure.
bet.
It's
probably
infected and
bruised,
shit.
looking like fucking Jim Carrey in The Mask and shit.
and the swelling is like going up to his chin.
Oh my
and
God.
going up to his like cheek.
Oh shit.
And he goes, I can't fucking talk. I go, why? He goes, I'm in so much pain, I can't even touch this fucking thing. I fucking told you not to do it.
Oh my God, what an idiot. Wow.
So the next day I come to school and he's not there. I'm like, oh shit. So the next day he comes in, he's got a bandage around half his face.
Looking like the old cartoons where they got it wrapped around their head and shit.
He goes, I got home and it was so bad my mom had to take me to the emergency room.
Oh my God, Jesus.
I go, yeah. He goes, I guess it wasn't a pimple, it was becoming a cyst.
Yeah, no shit. Wow.
And when I told them what I did, they freaked out. They at least asked if you sterilized the friggin'
the safety finish? Nope, I didn't do shit.
Of course not.
I just bashed it in with a fucking book.
Oh man. Well,
What turned into a cyst was now an infection, and they had to cut it out.
Oh
drain
man.
Oh God damn.
They give him IVs, and I was like, well, I did my due diligence. I told you not to do it.
Right. See, Kate's not standing there like, I told you, motherfucker. Leave it alone.
But if you wanted to do it, I'm going to watch a train wreck.
Yeah, I'm going to watch.
Well, coming off of that story, I actually changing gears here to the story I'm going to tell is is a kind of along the lines of the dumb drummer stories. This is about Lenny, the dumb drummer, and he had a big fucking zit on his back, like a boil, like up by his shoulder blade, and it was so big that like it almost looked like a hump on his back. And it was like, dude, we're like, what the fuck? We were calling him Quasi and shit. And we'd go to touch it, and he'd be like, don't touch it. And we're like, dude, that's like really infected. Yeah. Like, it was gigantic. About that shit. I mean, it was like the size of a grapefruit. It was fucking huge on his back. He's a pretty thin dude, so I mean, it looked like weird, you know,
like an extra head.
So anyway, a friend of ours, his dad was a doctor, and so he agreed to do it for him. Like pro bono, hey, like just to help him out. Let me take
care of this. Fuck yeah.
They did it in the office and everything, but they lanced this motherfucker, and it was like the nastiest shit.
Water full of pus.
Just like cottage cheese looking. It was disgusting. I didn't see this, but all I know is that after it was done, I never saw it with his shirt off, but with a shirt on, it looked like a fucking cunt on his fucking back. It was like a fucking divot in his fucking back. So he used to say he had a cunt on his back.
Because all that straight fucking stretched out flesh just caved in.
It was so nasty. But my real story is this. There used to be this guy, I'm going to change his name to Kevin, that used to hang around with all of us in high school. Unwanted. He was a fucking pain in the ass, and nobody ever invited him to these parties. He'd just show up, you know.
A hanger-on.
We got a friend like that too.
Oh, do you? Well, he just wanted to be there. So whatever. He would show up to these parties. Well, one night he showed up and got really fucked up at my buddy's house and passed out drunk. Now, my buddy had a real big place. It was like a barn. It was like campfire outside. So you could have been on the property and not have been around this. Yeah, totally. So anyway, what they did, because I wasn't with them. This is just a story I heard after they left and then when they got back. They took him, passed out, and put makeup and shit on him and took his clothes off and put this dude's sister's dress on him. His sister was a bigger girl. They put her fucking dress on him.
Right.
Totally fucking naked except for this dress, okay? Threw him in the trunk of the fucking car and drove
the fuck out
to
here,
the fucking Bronx and tied his ass to the side of a fucking highway and left his ass there.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes. It took him a day and a half to fucking get home.
65 miles.
Right? Yeah.
Took him like a day and a half to get home.
That's a straight up kidnapping shit, bro.
This dude had the worst fucking luck I've ever seen. Yeah. The worst fucking luck I've ever seen. Yeah. That, and then he was with a dude who was trying to kill himself driving and swerved in front of a fucking semi and almost killed him.
What the fuck?
So he got tied up on the side of the highway in the Bronx.
Wearing a dress.
Wearing a dress with makeup on. Yeah. Got fucking almost killed by a semi by this dude that was suicidal with him. And then the third thing, I think I told the story about the dude with the street signs where they made him, they convinced him to bring the street signs.
Yes,
street signs in with his dad, and he got busted.
Yeah.
That whole story was that this dude Kevin that I've been talking about got busted with the street sign, and he totally told the cops about him.
Right.
So once they realized that they were busted and that Kevin guy never got busted, they called the fucking cops on his ass, so he went and got in trouble.
Okay.
So all in one or 2 months, our senior year, right at the end of the senior year, those fucking 3 things happened to this motherfucker.
Dude, I could not even imagine being fucking passed out, thrown in a dress, tied up to the street in the Bronx.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Are you guys kidding me?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Was he the one whose car got driven inside the school?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
He had a car that you didn't need a key to start, so everybody used to take it to lunch and do shit with it and park it in different places.
That's hilarious.
And it was so small. I don't remember what kind of car it was. You could drive it into the school.
I think it was like a Fiat.
Yeah, you could drive it into the school, and that's what they did.
Get the fuck out.
So like 3 or 4 kids. I thought I told this story. So it's like 3 or 4 kids from my class were in the car and like drove right into the school, And they're all sitting in the office. They looked at like, what the fuck? This car drives right down the fucking hallway. And what they were thinking was they were going to make a big square and then leave, but the car couldn't make the turn.
So they got fucking stuck.
So he just put the parking brake on and cranked the fucking stereo up and just fucking ran. So then over the speaker, they're like, would the students that parked the car in the hallway by the music room please report to the office immediately?
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Of course, everybody busted him out. But the one dude that was like ran the whole show,
oh my fuck!
He got accepted to the University of Honolulu. This dude came from money, and he was real smart.
Right,
so he was going to be a lawyer. So his mom had money, or dad, or whatever had money. So he gets accepted to the University of Honolulu. So he doesn't give a fuck, you know.
Like, about this bitch anyway.
So he had a letter in a frame over his bed from the principal to his mom that said, "Your son Steven has been expelled from school for driving an automobile." I wish I would have had a copy of that letter because it's fucking priceless.
Awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
he had it in a frame over his bed.
And I thought me riding a skateboard down the hallway was
He is a lawyer
badass.
today. And he still lives in Hawaii too.
I'll never forget coming out of class and seeing that. That was so fucking funny.
All right, well, fuck yeah, man. Telling some high school stories, always a good time. Guys,
like I said,
going back down memory lane.
In a dress, in makeup, tied in the street.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Fuck that.
Yeah, for sure.
Bodily fluids are always nasty.
So yeah, kind of a nice conglomeration of weird stories tonight. So
coagulate.
Well, we got a killer cage match to get to, guys. We got a contest we do every week. Little cage. We put together 2 killers with 2 objects, and we let our listeners pick those random numbers. Chris, who do we got this week picking the numbers?
Like I said, we have the homie Justin Morris. Fuck yeah, can't wait to have him in the studio with us.
Hell yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Stephanie Anderson and we have Jordan Campaign. So thank you all for handing out them numbers.
Yeah.
See what happens with this night in the round.
Got a weird match tonight, Joe. We got the monster of a man, old Joe Matheny, going up against 2, man.
Fred West from over the pond there.
Yeah, the serial killers. We did Fred and Rosemary West.
Yep,
so
UK House of Horrors.
That's right. So he's just by himself, though, Chris. He's solo.
Fuck yeah, dude. No Rosemary. She's in prison. He's just like, I'm killing still.
Right. And Chris or CK, we got some objects to fight with here. What objects do we get? Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're going to fight with an electric drill and a frozen liter of bottled water. Plus, the variable in the ring is going to be 2 crack whores.
Hey, that could get violent, man. I don't know.
How nasty is it going to get, CK? What you got on this subject?
Yeah, what do you think, CK? Okay.
What I think is going to happen, Fred West is going to get fixated on the crack whores. So he's going to be fucking with them while these 2 crack whores are fighting with $10 bills. So Joe Matheny is going to take the bottled water, beat the shit out of Fred West.
Wow.
Fucking all 3 of them?
Then cannibalize them, cook them, and eat them.
Oh, yeah, you don't want none of that.
No, he's going to leave the crack whores.
Word.
There's also not a lot of meat on them bones.
That's true. Pretty spindly. What do you think, Joey, on this one?
I'm pretty much with CK on this one. Like, I got to say Joe Matheny is going to be the winner. I can't really see Fred West beating him. Plus, I feel like he's going to be too distracted with the crack whores.
Now, I got a different take on this, guys. I'm thinking, Fred West, pretty, industrious guy, all about the sex trade. He's going to take the crack whores and he's going to pimp them out.
Yep.
And he's going to pimp them out on Matheny. And Matheny's going to be getting his fucking knob polished, and fucking Fred West going to shove the fucking drill up his ass. And kill him.
Oh, wait, Matheny's ass?
Yeah. And then hit him over the head with the frozen 2-liter.
See, at first,
possibility.
I thought I was one way. I thought the crack whores are going to win because a couple of crack whores, they're fucking relentless. But I think fucking Matheny and West fucking make a pact. They're like, hey, you bring me bodies for my fucking business.
Or share the crack whores? Each take
Yeah,
one?
no, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
As long as fucking Wes can fucking bring him fucking meat for his
Right.
fucking barbecue
Oh, okay.
business, he's just like, hey,
He's
yeah, I
gonna
don't
let
care
him
where
live.
it came from,
Okay.
whatever. I
All
think
right.
Matheny and Wes. Right. Yeah, he's
So
like,
you're
hey,
saying
you got more
they're gonna
fucking
turn to
bottles
become
of fucking
tag team
frozen water
partners?
to keep the bodies cold, the
Okay.
drill, we can fucking rip their innards out, whatever, dude.
Hey.
I guarantee no matter who dies, they'll blame it on the corona.
Oh, they're gonna
Probably.
blame
Probably.
No matter, they can have a knife in their neck. That's corona.
That's
Corona
right.
did it.
All right, guys. We did plenty of good mayhem tonight,
Fuck yeah,
so
dude.
time to get that outro done. Fuck yeah, some fucking air supply, man. Going back a ways.
Is that the red or the white?
All out of the love, man. I fucking love that shit. Fucking Cannibal Corpse, Hammer Smash Face, Chris. We just both ironically watched Ace Ventura.
Yeah, look, like Cashman.
Yeah, I watched it
and
like
Michael
a week
showed
ago,
up.
yeah.
Cashman and my brother Michael showed up yesterday, and I was watching that shit. And fucking Michael, when he got in, he looked at the TV. He's like, huh, I just watched that like 2 days ago, dude.
That's hilarious. That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know what prompted us
yeah.
to watch it. We just stumbled on it.
Because it's fucking Ace Ventura,
Well, of
dude.
course,
Like,
it's the shit. Well,
and
good.
that whole scene and the fact that Jim Carrey
yeah. Wanted
them there. Like,
Yeah,
no, I
that's-
need Cannibal Corpse
Yeah,
to
it's
be in this movie.
fucking
That's
awesome.
fucking badass,
It
dude.
is.
Well, he was in like death metal. I don't know if he still is, but at that point he was into death metal.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. And I
Napalm
know we've
Death.
we've
Yeah.
talked about it before on the fucking thing, but when
Yeah, we did.
when he was on Arsenio Hall doing
Yeah.
talking about Napalm,
Napalm
Death,
Death.
dude, like
Napalm Death.
that shit
That's
was
good
so
stuff.
fucking classic.
Well, very good to have you, CK and Joey, here again with us, of course. Very awesome. It was good to have Jenny's perspective on
Yeah, it
Jerome.
was nice
since
hanging
she
out with
went-
Jenny tonight.
Since she went with me to check that place out.
There's a lot
which
of
is-
damn things we talk about that she's like, I'm not sitting in for that shit
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah. She can only put up with so much. She got to listen to my dumb ass all the time. so.
Right.
Thanks again to Larry Alter and the staff at the Jerome Grand Hotel. Such an amazing place. I'll link to their website in the episode description if you're interested. Bumper music tonight, Cannibal Corpse, DRI, and Flotsam and Jetsam. So very, very kick-ass tonight. CK, your intro music by which band?
Chrysix.
Fuck yeah. And our intro music for the Murder Metal Mayhem, Chris, is by...
No motherfuckers wrong!
Very good. And I did not do your PMP intro tonight because I thought I'd give you a break.
Nice.
I didn't know if it was starting to wear on your nerves a little bit. So
God
it's a
damn it.
little elaborate, but I had to.
No, it's fine. Every
Yeah.
now and again it's cool,
Yeah,
but every time,
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, every now and then we'll bust it out.
Just wait until the times when I get here and you look at me like, yep, tonight's tonight.
All I got one thing to say. Who has two intros?
Oh, fuck
That's
off.
right, CK.
Now he wants us to be his
He's
bitch
cocky,
again.
yeah.
He's getting all
2 minutes
cocky.
to CK
Son of a
Facebook
bitch.
Live intro. I did for you, and you liked it, so that's good that you liked it. CK.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
It's all fun.
All right, well, go check out spellboundeffectsandart.com for their incredible online catalog. We keep talking about Tony Campagnan, the amazing stuff he does, but if you've seen it on the table here, we are all about it. It's amazing. Ed Gein would have loved it.
God
there
damn
in
it, dude.
Plainfield.
I really like Spike. I want to take Spike to my house the weekend my girls are coming in and just
damn.
have it sitting there
Oh, my
when they
God.
open up the door.
Oh, my
No,
God.
because you don't understand. My daughters, they'll be like, oh my God, Dad, that's freaking awesome. Where did
I'm
you
sure
get
they would
that?
love it. Yeah, I'm sure they would love it. Yeah. Well, go check out spellboundeffectsandart.com and get one of those for yourself. Thanks to all of you out there listening. We really we appreciate that support. We continue to dominate. We talked about CK almost hitting 5,000 listens this last week. Pretty amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really
It's
awesome. So, especially with everything going on, they say that the podcast numbers are down, but ours are fucking going up. So that's awesome. We've got some good comments this time around. Chris, you want to read that first one, man?
Yo, that crazy biatch. She says, I love the Killer Kid matches. Those are hilarious. How did you come up with that? And that was basically just like Pete pitched it to me one day. And I was like, I kind of heard something sort of like it, but not the same. We're going to make it our own.
Right.
But yeah, Pete's idea was original. So it just, we have these thoughts sometimes. Hey, let's fucking try this, dude.
Yeah,
let's fucking
why
do
not?
this shit.
You know, give it a fucking whirl. So yeah, I'm glad you like that. Joey, what about the next one, dude?
Danny Harrison, 7907. Not 1,000% positive. I'm guessing that's our buddy Dan Harrison.
I'm sure that's Dan, dude.
Oh, I don't know.
We got a friend from up in Canada named Dan Harrison.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for real.
He's came down here and hung out with us, and
had a great time.
So I'm guessing it might be him. So
I hope so. If it is you, Dan, hell yeah.
And if it's not, you have a cool ass name. So Danny Harrison 7907 commented, "Hails from Montreal. My friends and I love this shit. You guys fucking rock."
Fuck yeah, dude.
Awesome. And then CK, what about that next one, man?
Sissy Girl 78 comment, I love the metal you guys play on the show. Do you ever play entire songs?
No.
No, we really have not that I could think of.
The most entire song you will hear would be the karaoke.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But for the metal stuff, no. We
It's
usually
just
just play
music,
30-minute clips.
30-minute clips?
Yeah.
30-minute clips?
30-second clips. Thank you.
You know what I'm super confused about? Did you just post a comment from Chris? Because isn't that his screen name?
Oh, Sissy Girl?
78.
You're a fucking asshole. Shit, that is the fucking year I was born. You guys fucking suck.
We've never had anybody complain about us using clips, and we're playing mostly underground stuff.
Right.
Not really too worried about that, but I guess if we were really making money, it would be a different story. But
I ain't
we're not
even worried
making
about
any
making money. I'm not just trying to take our podcasts are long enough the way it is, so playing a complete song
it'd be a lot.
Would be a whole lot. So
and some people might not dig it.
That's another 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Exactly.
Right. And some people might not want to hear the whole song. That's the thing. We don't know.
That's why we use it as bumper music. It's
get you a taste. Go check it out. And we plug it
nice
too.
Transition from one segment to another.
Right. All right, very good. And then the last one, Chris?
Harris Kicks Ass. 880. The Son of Sam episode was the best one you guys have done yet. I heard them all, but that one was the best. My second favorite was BTK, which BTK is fucking insane.
Right.
And Fish. So horns high, don't fucking stop. So
awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. That's a cool comment.
Those are actually 3 of the episodes that we I fucking cherish all of them.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, those are some good ones.
Those
so
3
thank
are
you.
fucking really good.
So don't forget to check out murdermetalmayhem.com to listen to all our episodes and the bonus content. And go check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Get Your Murder On and like us on Facebook.
Join the 666 Club.
That's right. That's right, Joey. Just got to go to patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. $3 a month. That's all you got to do. And then next week, we're going to be doing episode 99. Holy shit, as we feature the fucked up UK killer, Dennis Nilsson.
Are you singing 99 Luft Balloons?
99.
No, actually, I don't have one yet for that. I'm thinking a plumbing song. Something with plumbing, the plumbing's backed up. What the fuck? Oh, wow, there's body parts.
Oh, shit,
holy
man.
shit.
Y'all ever thought you plugged up until you don't even know.
Go arrest that freak up on the 3rd floor or wherever the fucking floor he was.
Fuck?
Jesus Christ. So I had to destroy another karaoke song this week inspired by those copper miners in Jerome. So crank this one the fuck up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And one hand on a pickaxe trying not to die in a cave collapse.
Sounds like a plan.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up a shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Fuck yeah. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting in trouble on my middle name. I was raised in the cane, raped by an old lion. Can no high-toned woman make me walk the line? You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. Yeah, if you see me coming better, step aside. A lot of men did and a lot of men died. One fist of iron, the other of steel. If the right one don't get you, then the left one will. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, cause I can't go. I owe my fucking soul to the company store. Murder, metal, mayhem. Fuck yeah.
Mother, man.